I'm Eric Reeser. For the first time since 2020, both the Guardians and Reds are in the postseason. It came down to game 162 on Sunday. Reds lost to the Brewers 4-2, but the Mets were shut out by the Marlins, and Cincinnati earned the final NL wildcard spot by virtue of a tiebreaker. Redlegs will play the LA Dodgers in game 1 of the wildcard series tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. As for the Guardians, Cleveland beat Texas 9-8 on Sunday, while Detroit lost in Boston 4-3. The Guardians are AL Central champs for the second straight season, third time in 4 years. Cleveland's going to host Detroit in the AL Wild Card game 1 tomorrow at 1 o'clock. In the NFL yesterday, the Lions beat the Browns 34-10. The Packers and Eagles played to a 40-40 tie. The Bengals are at the Broncos tonight at 8:15. You can hear that game on the Fan following Buckeye Roundtable. Ohio State remained at 1 in both polls. The 4-0 Buckeyes won at Washington 24-6 over the weekend. Ryan Day will join the Roundtable program tonight at 6:30 right here on the Fan.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
Talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy Austin Ward. My good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lavery's joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Barry here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only 2 guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, let's do it live on a Monday edition of the program. Bo and the boys with you for the next 10 o'clock. Where are we now a month into the Big Ten Conference? I think we have a decent idea. What a Saturday of college football. We'll put it all into perspective. Austin Ward at 10:30, 11 o'clock. We will blitz the Buckeyes as they, of course, improved to 4-0 on the season. For more perspective on the Big Ten, we'll be joined by analyst Howard Griffith at 11:30 as well. It was damn near perfect. I mean, it was pretty close to perfect. Basically, everything that you needed in a college football Saturday from the Ohio State perspective was provided. I thought the opponent was kind of perfect. Dangerous? Yeah, for sure. Weapons? Absolutely. Do they have your attention? You know that they do. You had the bye week to prepare for them. Were you ready? Oh, yeah, you were ready. It was as good a defensive game plan that I've seen around here in a very, very long time. They just bottled up at every single turn, everything Damon Williams is trying to do in the game. I just thought they were absolutely sensational. So I thought the opponent was perfect. I thought the venue was damn near perfect. I mean, that place is beautiful. I've been out there before. If you've not seen it or if you're new to it, the venue was perfect, especially on a late September Saturday where it is sun-kissed and it's bouncing off Lake Washington and you see those panoramas. It's pretty close to perfect. Seattle, pretty close to perfect. Late September, tough to beat. Massive city, all sorts of things to do. It was cool seeing all the folks, especially the coaches' wives, go to Pike Place Market and sling fish. Saw Adam King try to catch a fish with his suit on. God bless him.
Try. That was the operative word. Try.
No, he's not an athlete.
Got to give him credit for doing it on camera.
No hand. No credit. No credit. No. I don't think we'll do that at all. I gave him a name drop. That's about as much as he needs on a Monday.
Exactly.
It's just get a little name drop. That's good. So that was pretty close to perfect. It was a perfect road trip. I mean, I saw what my friends at Travel Partners did to get everybody out there and the way that they were entertained in that city by that venue. Absolutely. That was pretty dang close to perfect. And I thought the game was pretty close to perfect as well. Does it make sense that Washington's in the Big Ten? No, probably not. It doesn't make sense that they're in the Big Ten. Certainly doesn't make any damn sense that they're in the Big Ten in anything other than football. You might be able to come up here and make an argument to say that from a football-only perspective, this is kind of everything you'd want in a conference game, to be able to go out there and play them and have that experience that comes with it. But I do think that for everything else, obviously, it makes no sense whatsoever. But when you want to use that word perfection, I just keep coming back to one thing, and that is we may have, maybe unbeknownst to us or unaware for us all the way back in July or early August, we may have the perfect defense for college football in 2025. we just might. I did not know that this defensive line was this dominant. I think what Larry Johnson did with them up front at the behest, I'm sure, of Matt Patricia was just to be able to get upfield, wreak havoc, but also stay in your lanes and shut off any sort of run attempt, any sort of scramble attempt, to be just sitting there waiting. I went back to my three things. My number one three things was Sonny, Arvell, and Caleb, and they were all great. But they really didn't need to be great in this one because that defensive line got upfield, but they didn't over-pursue. There weren't running lanes for him to take off in. If he started to, it gobbled up. They gobbled him up quickly. They shut that sieve off right away. I thought that defensively, this was a masterclass. And I think you watch college football this weekend, guys, I think you might have the perfect defense. Now, Ryan's not going to hear it. James ain't going to want to hear it. Patricia ain't going to want to hear it. Larry, Tim, none of them. They're not going to hear it. Matt, none of them. But the reality is the way that this defense is built for college football 2025, the word that you're looking for might just be perfect.
I mean, you're starting to get some confidence on that defensive front to where it just aids those incredible athletes that you've got at the linebacker and in the secondary spots. To you're looking 5 weeks in and going, I don't know what to tell you. Rest of the country.
Good luck. Yeah, I don't know.
It's, and that Washington team's damn good.
Yes,
and you saw, I think Texas is going to be pretty good come the season's end in terms of what they can do on offense. And 2 touchdowns in 4 games. Mm-hmm. They didn't Washington convert on a third down until the fourth quarter. Mm-mm. Like, this was as perfect as you could ask for defensively.
It's not. It's a perfect college football defense because it's an NFL defense. Ohio State is running an NFL defense in NFL schemes right now. And you can do that because you have Caleb. You can do that because you have Sonny. Because they're so experienced and so smart. You can do that because you have a freak of an athlete like Arvell Reese and some cornerbacks and Jermaine Matthews and Davison Igbinosun and Devin Sanchez coming in as a freshman and Lorenzo Styles, the way he's played. You can also do it because while they haven't maybe played a ton of football, you have 2 experienced defensive ends and Kenyatta Jackson and Caden Curry. And Caden Curry is getting a lot of flowers for this game, and rightfully so. But there were 2 times when I took notice that Kenyatta Jackson kept contained. The one time on a run with Damon Williams, where Damon Williams is literally 5 yards away from him. Mm-hmm. And how tough must that be for a 21-year-old man to not want to go run and get that player? But Kenyatta Jackson stood still and gave Damon Williams nowhere to go. And then there was another time when they kind of dropped him back into pass coverage a little bit, and nothing was there. And Kenyatta Jackson basically just stood there in his stance for 5 seconds in the same spot, not going anywhere because he knew that's where he needed to be for this play to be successful. The evolution of this defensive line is just giving this defense a whole nother aspect. And, Bo, before the season, I said it may be crazy, but I think this Ohio State defense this year might be better than last year, and my God, they are.
They are. Yeah, they're better. There's no holes. There's nothing that you can pick on. There is nothing. And I just thought to execute that game plan, because it is hard not to get greedy in those moments up front. That play you just described with Kenyatta Jackson, it's hard not to get greedy because you just want to pull him down for the sack. You're right there. Like, let me grab him and let's be done with this. But he's a slippery character. He's a big-time player. He is a big-time player. They have big-time talent on that offense. They're not there on the lines of scrimmage the way that they need to be, but they have big-time players, and they'll get there. I do have faith that they'll get there. I don't know if they'll be a national title contender perennially, but as long as he stays there and they stay organized, they're going to be just fine. You're looking for a stat to kind of hammer this point home of the defensive line. The top 2 tacklers in the game Saturday were the 2 Cadens. Curry had 11, McDonald had 7. Caden Curry had 9 solo tackles playing defensive end. He had 3 sacks. Caden McDonald had 2. They had combined 8 tackles for loss.
It would have been one more for Curry had a sack not gotten thrown out, because I think it was Kenyatta Jackson who had the paw in the face.
Oh,
of
yeah.
Oregon offensive lineman. They called it a punch, but
Yeah. No, I just thought it was the best. It's one of the best game plans that I've seen for a mobile quarterback in college football. It took so much discipline at the defensive line, and then it took Sonny and Arvell. Sonny and Arvell were just basically sitting there waiting. They're just waiting. Like, if you get through these guys, we got you. That plan was a masterclass in defensive football. And when you look around what's happened in the country through a month of this season, and you think about the tests that have been passed by this defense, what they did to Texas in the opener, and what they did out in Seattle on Saturday, I think it's the best defense in the country by a decent margin. It's one of the best defenses we've seen around here in a while. And I think the plan that Mac Patricia, to your point, Bake, the NFL plan that he puts forth every single Saturday is a stuff to just marvel at. That was a masterclass. That was perfect. That was perfect from the Ohio State. Now, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear that because it's rat poison. They don't want it. But that's what I saw on Saturday from your Ohio State Buckeyes. Busy week this week, of course. Buckeye Roundtable tonight at 6. Ryan will join Skip, Paul, and Jim around 6:35 for that. It is Minnesota week. And just to give you an idea where that will be, it'll be a 7:30 kick on NBC, on Saturday for that. So it goes in the books 24-6. There are a bunch of layers to this thing. I thought the second half you got a little bit of a view of what this team is going to be. I think that there was a chat at halftime. We got to let this kid play a little bit, and boy, did the kid play. So we've got a lot to get to on all of those fronts, and we will have you covered over the next 3 as only we can. We are off and running on a Reaction Monday edition, Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Looking to get your roof or siding replaced this fall? Call the company that delivers an excellent customer experience every time. Newman Roofing. Don't wait. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
The number one problem we see at our clinic is delaying treatment. ED and low T can get worse.
Book your appointment right now. Call 614-300-7400. Prefer privacy? Book online in under 30 seconds at columbusmensclinic.com.
At our clinics, men's sexual health is the whole job. Look, I'm a normal guy too. I hate going to the doctor, but we've helped so many guys in here just like you. Even if pills have failed, our medical team is going to take the time to talk you through it. Same day in-house lab, and the treatments, well, they could change your life.
Your local medical team has your back. ED, low T, Peyronie's, size, and shape modeling. We tailor what works for you.
I'll get to the point. Can you imagine epic workouts and epic sex? Yeah, I said it.
A stronger you is closer than you think. We're available right now. Call 614-300-7400 or book in 30 seconds or less at columbusmensclinic.com. Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven.
I feel valued as a member. They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money line, spread, totals, player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Hey friends, Beamer here. And a bye week, it's about getting your energy back, and that's exactly what Awaken 180 gave me. I don't drag through mornings anymore. I'm not dreading the stairs or a long day. I feel lighter, sharper, and actually in control. Yeah, I dropped a lot of weight, but what actually matters is how different my life feels now. If you're ready for your own reset, take this bye week to get you there with Awaken 180.
Start today online at awaken180weightloss.com.
At Giant Eagle, we're here because being part of the neighborhood matters. Because what we pick up at the store is what we bring into our lives. At Giant Eagle, we're always going for better to bring you the best. Because it matters.
The Fan has a new tailgate destination. Join us before every home game at the O Patio and Pub on Lane.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. Jameson Whiskey didn't go to college. And Coors Light.
See you Saturday, friends.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating. You're overwhelmed. You might not be big on technology, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Maybe you've gone through a divorce or a bad breakup or a relative moved out. It's been hard, and you just want to take what you want and leave the rest behind. I will help you. Retiring and want to sell your commercial properties or land. I will help you. Sellers, whether you're selling as is or selling for top dollar, you're no longer alone. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Now as we kick off the work week, we're still tracking sunshine and warm conditions here with highs in the mid-80s, but then gradually cooling back down to the lower 80s here on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we're back down to the 70s here by Thursday and Friday. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
It's Reaction Monday, where our highly trained experts talk football.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
Your home for reaction and overreaction. The Fan. 10 feet tall and bulletproof isn't just a saying, it's a way of life. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Theme of the Buckeye win at Washington, they just kept coming back to the word perfect in terms of what they were defensively, the setting, all of it. I'm going to give you another kind of perfect story that happened over the weekend. Bobby Petrino was born in Montana, Lewistown, Montana. His family is coaching royalty out there, high school, small college coaching royalty in Montana. He was kind of he was somebody that those of us who grew up there were aware of his ascent in the sport and very proud of it. Now, as I started to get into the business a little bit and started to hear some whispers about how Bobby went about his business, then it become maybe we're not quite as proud of the Bobby Petrino connection. So this is, I'm trying to remember exactly when this is. This is probably 12 years ago or so, I would say. Yeah. That we had just played him in he was there when they were at the Sugar Bowl against Ohio State with those guys, and Tress had that famous get the monkey off his back. So this is why college football is perfect. Our guy, old cold beer, Sam Pittman. Go Hogs. God, we rooted for him. But there was always a ceiling. Now, why did we like him? Because he said old cold beer and go Hogs, and he's got this absurd statue of a hog outside of his house in the Lake of the Ozarks. That is just spectacular. It's spectacular. And everything about him, I'm for. I'm for characters. I'm for all of it. But it also felt like Arkansas is one of those jobs that kind of has an outsized view of what it is capable of. Because it's got some really wealthy boosters, and they all remember stuff that happened in the 60s when they won national championships. But it's been a long, long time since. And they've had a few pops here and there. So these things all connect. On Saturday, Notre Dame goes to Arkansas, bombs the Razorbacks. Later on, they decide they're going to fire Sam Pittman. Well, what's Bobby Petrino have to do with this? Sam Pittman hired Bobby Petrino to be his offensive coordinator. You will recall that Bobby Petrino was on a heater at Arkansas when he got in a motorcycle accident with a former all-SEC volleyball player who, in fact, was not his wife in 2012, who was not his wife, and was fired at Arkansas. In fact, Mike used to have this, and he still might have it somewhere in the Dad, the Let 'em Live. You guys know that? that is from Feinbaum's show or a television. It might be from
Let
local
him
television.
live.
There it is. That's what it's from. People in Arkansas were like, do not fire him for this.
Let him live.
For having this woman on the back of his motorcycle and getting in a motorcycle accident, and him basically having a relationship with someone who was a subordinate, I think is what they ended up firing him for, because I think she worked for him in the football office, if memory serves. Well, guess who's the interim coach at Arkansas?
Let him live.
That's right. Bobby Petrino is the interim coach at
He's
Arkansas.
firing people. Get a little bit of power. And
if you don't love the beautiful mess that this sport is, I just can't help you. Is the NFL better on a week in, week out basis in terms of the consistency of the play that you get and the overall talent? Yeah, it is. It's better. In many instances, it's a better product. Are there more storylines? Is it as soap opera-y? No. This is college football has this in spades. This guy, 13 years after he was fired for having an all-SEC volleyball player on the back of his motorcycle who was a subordinate of him, is back as the interim head coach at Arkansas at age 64. He's back. Come on. You can't make this up. There's no other sport in the country. There's no other sport on the planet that does this type of absurdity.
If Petrino can make a comeback at Arkansas, like, we can never discount anybody.
I mean, if
coaching
Rick
again.
Pitino can make a comeback in college basketball, like, there is no.
This would be like
Hugh
Pitino
Freeze
being introduced at Louisville, though.
Or Kentucky.
I
mean, there is truly nothing you can do outside of, there are only a handful of things really that you can do to be truly gone from the sport as long as you've won games. As long as you can win games.
Yeah.
Your leash is so much longer than the regular person's at their job. And the Bobby Petrino thing shows it. And now I hope Arkansas gets kicked into a pit.
I mean, they were the upset special of the weekend in college football. Everybody was saying Notre Dame's on upset alert.
Yeah.
Which was one of the reasons why I was like, Notre Dame by 1 billion in this game. Like, I just don't understand it. You go from being everyone's darling to firing your coach in 3 days?
It's also like, I mean, we had I didn't know if we'd have this. Do we have 4 coaching firings already?
Yes.
We got Virginia Tech,
UCLA, Oklahoma State, and now Arkansas.
Oh yeah, Gundy in Arkansas.
Gundy's out.
Yeah. I mean, Petrino has, I mean, his whole life is second chances. He got 2 runs at Louisville. He just keeps coming around. He just keeps coming around, and it's 60.
Accountability for thee, not for me.
Rich Rod is back in West Virginia, and Bobby Petrino at Arkansas.
It's just the best. There's nothing else like it. Like, there just isn't. There's no other sport like it. It's so great. We'll get back to the Buckeyes here in about 5 minutes. A couple of things on the NFL side of things. Did not go well for the Browns up in Detroit on Sunday. Offensively, it's just been a mess for a really long time. In non-Jameis Winston quarterback games, they haven't scored more than 20 points since 2023. There's a lot of factors here. The tackles are really bad. Joe's a 40-year-old dude, and he kind of looks it a little bit, I do think that the one interception, clearly he thought Tillman was running a fade. Now, I don't know who had the right read on that, but it basically looked like it's like a little kid pop fly that you could have fair caught. That's kind of what it looked like on the one interception. But, they're very much struggling offensively. Stefanski, there's going to be a lot of calls for quarterback changes and all of those things, I'm sure. They head to London this week to take on the Vikings. Stefanski was asked about the offensive struggles. Here's what he had to say.
Yeah, again, I think it goes back to the original part of this. We own this all together. To have success on any side of the ball, you have to play as one and you have to play together. And we had too many things that caused us not to have success.
Here is Joe Flacco on the turnovers offensively that hindered the Browns.
Well, we made mistakes. The first pick was on me. And anytime you get you give a chance to give this team a little bit of momentum and play from the lead. That makes them that much better. That's part of the reason why they're a good football team. So when you turn the ball over like that and you give them good position, and you don't really allow our defense to pin their ears back and do their thing, then you're going to struggle as a whole. I don't know about that second one. I really didn't. That set them up too. I really didn't think that they came up with that, but in the box score they did, and it hurt us. So.
Yeah, so they sit at 1-3, and they head to London to take on Minnesota on Sunday in a game. I think it's like 9:00 in the morning. Here's the reality: this was a team that was a 3.5, 4.5 over/under to start this season, and so far that's what it looks like offensively. I think the thing that's going to be I think Stefanski's got to be really careful with this part of it. He's going to have to be very careful to make sure that thing doesn't splinter, because the defense again was pretty great. I mean, Goff had never completed less than 74% of his passes all season long. He was well under that. They really didn't motorboat him up and down the field. They handled their business defensively. They give you chances, but if you can't ever muster anything offensively, this is kind of the result of it. And in a league where the average scores, most teams average around 20 points a game, to not get to that threshold almost ever, red flags is upon red flags, my friends.
Yeah, it's time. I was sitting there watching the game yesterday, and in the fourth quarter, they sent Gabriel out there in the most garbage time possible, and I asked myself, how does this help his development? How does this answer the question for the Cleveland Browns if you've got the franchise quarterback of the future on your roster right now? And it doesn't. And I think if you've got the Vikings on they got their asses kicked yesterday, even though the score didn't really, I think, tell the whole tale.
Yeah.
Because they made it a game late against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's a defense I'd be comfortable sending Gabriel out there with a running back like Quinshon Judkins, because as much as I love Joe Flacco for what he did in 2023, rallying the Browns through the month of December and making me forget, at least for a little bit, about Deshaun Watson, the mission of the 2025 Cleveland Browns, and we've been saying it for months, is to try to figure out if the quarterback of the future is on your roster. And that needs to start now. You're 1-3. Let's stop trying. Let's stop saying quarterback Flacco gives us the best chance to win, because that's been increasingly less and less true. And now as we sit here on one of the final days in the month of September, I just think it's not true at all.
Yeah.
I didn't watch much of this because I kind of had a feeling this game was going to go this way. I don't remember what you guys did in your picks, if you took the points or not. I bet the Lions in the spread, because after the past couple weeks where the Browns had played tough, they get the upset win over Green Bay, I just felt like something like this was going to happen. Like, even if Cleveland played well, the ball was not going to bounce their way, and Detroit was going to win this game pretty handily. There's a lot of issues in Cleveland. That defense is really good, but as equally good as that defense is, the offense is bad.
Yeah, and someone who I consider one of the smarter people I know, I was having a text exchange with on Sunday about Gabriel and all of that. And obviously Joe's lack of mobility is a tough one. And I said, boy, probably ideally they would want Gabriel to play after Pittsburgh. They'd like, Joe to get through the London game, play at Pittsburgh. You don't want a rookie to start their first game at Pittsburgh. And he fired back to me, it's professional football. Like, they're pros.
None of this is ideal.
Yeah, it's professional football. Like, there is no perfect way to launch a rookie. Dylan started 60 games in college. Like, he's been there all off season. Like, what's the difference? It's pro football. Go play. And I let that resonate. I thought, you know what? Maybe he's right. He's right.
That's how I feel. The good ones sink or swim, or the good ones swim. Yeah. The ones that can't handle it sink. And that's just how I feel about it.
Yeah. Be interesting to see what they do, if anything, this week up in Cleveland before they head to London for their game against the Vikings on Sunday. Back to the Buckeyes coming up next. It was near perfect. You're going to have to really quibble to find anything wrong with what Ohio State did on Saturday out in Seattle, including a second half that I think gave you a clue of where this offense is going to go going forward. We'll get to that in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, we've got a problem at Pella.
I like where this is going.
Because of Pella's reputation and quality, a lot of folks assume that we're out of budget.
Oh, that's too... Oh, I hate hearing.
But we've actually got 5 awesome window lines that fit any budget, from the $300,000 to the $3 million home, and far from the most expensive.
So you actually don't have a problem. Awesome.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rated the leading window brand at PellaColumbus.com.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up?
What's up, man? Sup with you?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, here's what's up on a Reaction Monday edition of the program. Buckeyes 24, Washington Huskies 6. I think the stat of the game is DeMond Williams Jr. rushing stats in this game. I think it tells the story of this whole thing. So up until the Ohio State game, this is what he did on the ground. Now, admittedly, these are not Buckeye-level opponents, but I think it tells a story of what they want to do offensively, and they want to truly be a dual-threat offense out of the quarterback. He carried it 13 times for 68 against Colorado State. And remember, in college football, sacks count against rushing totals. So if he was sacked at all in the CSU game, that would also bring that number down. Against UC Davis, it was 8 for 64, and then last week against Washington State, he ran it 13 times for 88 yards. On Saturday, he ran it 13 times for negative 28 yards. Negative. He's an electric player. He was 18 to 22 throwing it. They never threatened in the red zone. When they did, that was forced for field goals. Ohio State's defense stood tough. In fact, honestly, at 7-3 at half, it didn't feel that close at all. If anything, it was just you fail in the red zone the first time down there. You got the fumble from Innes, and that kind of made it a little closer than it was. But at no point did I feel that there was any danger. And the only criticism, if any, was let the kid go. Let 10 go, because I thought in the Texas game he could have handled a lot more, and I thought that maybe they were a little conservative in the first half. Ryan made a great point post-game, though, when he said, look, this kid's first ever start was against number 1 Texas. His first ever road start was in a place that held the record for the loudest stadium in college football for well over a decade. So, this is being thrown into the fire in the biggest way possible. But I thought what you saw in this out of the second half from Julian is who he is. He's just incredibly accurate. I also have to give some flowers. The play call on the Jeremiah Smith crosser where everybody downfield blocks and he just waltzes in was a pristine play call. It was just awesome. The timing of it, the execution of it, all of it. It just worked. I'm sure they want to be more explosive offensively, but as they are right now, you go back to what Ryan Day said last week, just win the game. And as long as this defense is playing at this level, it allows for the offense to come along a little bit slower. And as Ryan articulated postgame, this defense allows this offense to find its way on its own pace.
Well, I think it's important that we continue to grow on offense and figure out where the identity of this team is and where it's going. I think, it's something that we'll work on week to week. But when you have a defense that is playing the way it is right now, you can play with confidence knowing that you don't have to score every single possession. You can control the clock and play it. I wouldn't say more conservative, but you understand time, score, and situation.
I think Ryan's playing the long game here with all of this. He knows what he's got here with this football team. He knows how talented it is. You look around the country, I wouldn't trade him for anybody, and not how they're playing right now, not what the ceiling is. And he's thinking, I got 16 games. So when he says stuff like he said right there about it allows you to work the clock, it allows you to play, he was going to use the word conservative and then flipped it. You didn't want that connotation with his offense. But the reality is that they are in a win in advance mindset. And the way that the schedule sets up, because of some of these opponents who aren't on their level, there's going to be opportunity for this offense to come along at its own pace because of how great the defense is. I did think the second half, when you think about the identity of this offense, and I've been saying this since August, I think this is going to be at its best in November. And in the playoff, this is going to be a pass-happy offense that slings it all over. There's one thing that has changed here in the last month. We started getting whispers about this in all the way back in spring, and those continued through camp. Their running back is Bo Jackson. Like, that's happened here over the month. Like, so their identity offensively is going to be Bo Jackson gashing him, probably CJ in the short yardage stuff barreling in, although I'd like to see him get a little lower and put it in the paint a little bit, because I think Bo probably would have scored on that first one. So if that's the way, that's going to be fine. But they're going to sling it all over to those receivers. And I think eventually they're going to throw the ball down the field more than they are right now. But right now, Ryan's about win in advance. Get wins, get out of there, on to the next. That's his mentality right now, and it's working.
Yeah, you mentioned the month of November, and we still haven't entered October. I do think the next 3 games are going to be a lot of what you saw in the first half against Washington. You're only a quarter of the way through the season. If you want to summit college football's mountaintop, you've got 12 more games left to do it. And so I think all of that leads me to think, Minnesota, Illinois, Wisconsin, those are going to be similar, especially the one next week at Illinois. And I think we're expecting a kick time for that in the next 24 hours. But I expect a lot of the same things in Champaign, and lean on Bo Jackson. And I think that's what this kind of sets up for. And then in November against Penn State, you can start to really let the top off the thing, because you don't need to as of right now. And it occurred to me in the moment before halftime when you got about a minute, maybe a little minute 20, and the CBS announcers are saying, Ryan Day should probably take a timeout here. I'm like, yeah, he should. He won't. Because they get the ball back, and they're not interested in really padding this anymore. They're just interested in kneeling and getting into half. And that's exactly what they did. And with the way the defense is, to his earlier point, you can do that, and you can just get away with just winning the football game. You beat Washington 24-6, and I look to a Buckeye fan who's displeased with any of that and go, what do you want?
Do you not like life? What do you want?
I can't come away with that thinking anything at all. It's really, that's what it is. Because if you looked at both teams and you saw the fans, the atmosphere, the decibel level at several times, one team was affected by it, and it was the one in purple.
Yeah.
I think there are things to nitpick, but that's what it is nitpicking, right? Like,
call it that.
I'm the most negative fan there is, and I have nothing wrong with what we're seeing from this team right now. And Bo, you talk about what this team might be in November. I think this is what this team is. I think this is how Ryan's going to do it. He doesn't need to open the offense up because this defense is so damn good right now. In this defense, the way they are playing, you can literally, and I know a lot of people don't like this, but you can literally run a trestle ball, And everything ends with a kick, right? You either punch, you either extra point, or you either field goal, because you're going to be able to win a lot of games like you did this week, 24-6, where maybe your offense could have took some more chances, but we really didn't need to, so why risk it?
I do think it would be detrimental to the development of your quarterback to not open it up a little bit more each week, but your point's, I think, solid.
I'm a little bit with, it's a little bit like getting a Porsche 911 and going out on the Autobahn and being like, man, I can just drive this sucker and never shift out of fourth gear. I can just cruise along, 82, zipping along. But, God, it'd be fun. Drop that clutch and go to fifth. go to 127. Wouldn't that be fun? Because he's got a Porsche 911. That's what he's got. I mean, 4 and 17. We haven't really unlocked 17 at all. Not really. And 4, you get these glimpses. They make sure they get him his touches, but we haven't seen those deep balls yet the way that you're going to see because he hasn't had to. But are you going to need to do that against Oregon? Maybe. There's not a whole lot to quibble with here, though. You mentioned the Ohio State-Illinois kick will come at some point in the next 24 hours. I can tell you right now it's going to be big noon. No. You can take that to the bank because the other two big games...
I can't see it not being.
The other two big games in the Big Ten that week, and they're both good ones, they're both West Coast.
At Oregon and at USC, right? Yeah, Michigan's at USC.
Indiana's at Oregon and Michigan's at USC. So you're going to be big nooning with Illinois and Champaign, which, they were just big noon last time. So Leinart and all those guys Brady and all those guys can run it back to Champaign because that's where they're going in 2 weeks. I mean, that feels like a lock. I don't know who Illinois has next week, but I can't imagine that they would lose. So it sets up pretty well that way for that to be a big noon kick. I thought Sayin, a couple of minutes on Sayin here. I just think is it Breeze? What's kind of the doppelganger for him? He's so accurate. I thought his willingness to run was really cool in this game too. Like he would tuck it and run. He's just so accurate. I just keep coming back to he's like that guy throwing darts in the townie bar who just hits every spot 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. He just doesn't throw it inaccurately.
It's probably Breeze.
Yeah, it might be. I mean, he's just so, or Goff even, like he's just so accurate.
I'm trying to think because I almost feel like a Breeze or Goff comparison is a little disrespectful to his athletic ability because he can still run a little bit, but he is so accurate.
Are we doing that just because those guys maybe didn't show out against NFL level? Like they may have been plenty athletic in college, but in the NFL they just stayed in pockets.
I watched Drew Brees a lot in college. I don't remember him taking off down the field very often. I know it was a different time, but
that's true. Yeah. I don't think
the Breeze comparison is good, I think.
Breeze is probably the one that I keep coming back to. I'll just say this. We haven't had one here like this kid in a long time. Like everyone goes Jermaine. I wasn't around here then. You'd have to talk to Coop about Joe and his accuracy and how he playing style and stuff. My Joe Jermaine experience is watching him in the Arizona State game in the Fiesta Bowl. That's the one that I remember well. But that's what people keep going back to. But we haven't had a quarterback quite like this, but his accuracy is better than anybody I've ever seen play here. Me. There might be somebody else somewhere else, but in terms of what I've seen since 2007, it's not close. The ball is where it needs to be on time, where his guys can make plays on it. 22 of 28 in that environment. Come on. He's doing everything you want him to do. Speaking of that environment, impressions of what we saw on Saturday out in Seattle. And yes, we'll do a little baseball because they all got in. What a time to be alive. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Big Voice Guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
Now at Great Lakes Hyundai, save on new 2025 Sonatas with 0% financing for 60 months. 0% while supplies last. Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com.
Ever wonder where your go-to maintenance person gets the metal products they need to fix yours and everyone else's problems? The best in the business go to Metal Supermarkets for their wide variety of metal products and shapes to tackle projects from simple to complex. Metal Supermarkets is your source for all metals cut to size and ready fast. No minimum order with maximum service. Visit the family-owned franchise on North Wilson Road or at Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing
for the rest of my life. There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Van Scoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Is your money just lying around? Switch to Huntington Bank, and your money's always doing something. Like auto saving for special events, tracking your teen spending, and helping protect your parents from fraud. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
Hey, Columbus, it's T-Bone for Window Nation. Now is the best time of year to buy new windows. Whether you have old, drafty windows or maybe just the cheap builder's grade ones your house came with, September is the perfect month to protect your home against another cold, snowy winter. And right now, Window Nation is offering their most popular offer. Buy 2 replacement windows, get 2 for free. Plus, you won't pay any interest, monthly payments, or down payment for 2 years. You heard that right. Window Nation gives you the option to pay nothing until 2027. Are you a Buckeye fan? Well, when you replace all the windows in your home, Window Nation will also give you 2 free tickets to an upcoming Ohio State football game. With Window Nation, you get top quality windows from a trusted company, and it's all at a reasonable price because they know replacing windows is an investment, and they want to make it affordable for you. Don't miss Window Nation's most popular offer. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. And remember, you'll pay nothing for 2 years. Hurry, Columbus, this sale won't last forever. 866-90Nation or visit windownation.com to get your free quote.
We here at The Fan want to make your mornings as enjoyable as possible. That's why we bring you T-Bone and Tybus, a delightful blend of sports conversation and laughter. A show so good you'll forget all about your dead-end job and underachieving children. Maybe you saved a lot of money to send them to private school, and then your daughter shacks up with some dude named Fuzz. And you can't tell if your wife's angry or not because she's had so many fillers shot in her face that it can't move anymore. Anyway, T-Bone and Tybus, it's good.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
Buckeye fans, introducing Behind the O, the brand new app packed with original athlete and fan-driven Ohio State sports content. It's free to download in the App Store on iOS and Android, and every time you open it, you're helping generate NIL dollars for your favorite Buckeye athletes with zero cost to you. Get exclusive access to fresh behind-the-scenes videos, training routines, athlete lifestyles, and more from every Ohio State sport. Don't wait. Download Behind the O now and get closer to your Buckeyes than ever before.
Behind the O, free for fans, NIL for athletes.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on the team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up. You get early payout on parlays, too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Airflow Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
The friends are the guests and listeners. Reeser and Baker just work here.
Back to work. Back to work. Everybody. Work, 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 work.
You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Indeed, you are in a Reaction Monday. What would you guys have the percentage of scarlet versus purple in the crowd Saturday?
I was going to say 70-30.
70-30 purple.
And it might be more scarlet than the 30.
Well, the one end zone was all, I think like the end zones were all purple, but the 2 sidelines look decently mixed to me. I think your number's pretty close. How about you, Vic?
So I didn't get to watch most of this in real time, so I caught a lot of it on the Big Ten in 60.
Yeah.
So I didn't see a ton of crowd shots, but I feel like the crowd shots I saw, it almost looked 50-50. There was a lot of red in that stadium.
It sounded at times 50-50, and in the fourth quarter, you had the OHIL going around Husky Stadium, and that's always a good feeling.
Well, that's what this goes back to what I said off the start. Like, it's really the perfect road trip. It's a fun city. And when you get a day like that and you fly out on a Friday, you get there. I mean, if you leave here early in the morning, you're there by noon, and you get all day Friday. You get all day Saturday. You go to a great football game. I mean, that setting is stunning. The sailgating, all of it. Like, it's just a spectacular setting. You get to play that game. Then you get a Saturday night in Seattle, which is a major United States city. Then next thing you know, you're flying home Sunday, and it's a win. I mean, you get it. And nobody travels like, I mean, I saw a boat that had like it was a Emerald City Buckeye Club. There was another one from Portland like a Rose City Buckeye club as well. So like, it's just how they travel. I thought Nessler is still throwing his fastball. I thought Gary was a little off. On Saturday he was a little off. Look, there certainly were some calls that the one that was really big that kind of changed the game. I don't know if it would have changed anything from the Washington perspective. I thought Jed Fish, the first call on him was crazy.
That was bad. It was a ref show, and it was not great. But you have to know in the moment to not run out onto the field and scream at Big Ten refs.
But that was the second one, Reese. The first, when they hit him twice. The first one, on the very first play of the game, they hit him because he was in the white area.
First one was bogus because it should always just be a warning.
Yes.
The second one, I understand his frustration, but you need to know in that moment.
Yeah.
Like, you can't cost your team that because that threw off the rhythm of that drive.
It did, yeah. So, other than that, I thought it was pretty damn great. All right, I give you a little baseball time here. We got a lot to get into here. We got to do a couple of seconds of golf as well, just on how all of that went. Your guards, are they winning the World Series? Is that where we're at, Reese?
Probably.
It's unreal.
The idea that they clinched a playoff spot by walking in a run after Kafis gets plunked with bases loaded Saturday night was the most Cleveland Guardians, at least the 2025 incarnation of the Cleveland Guardians, is the best way possible to do it. And then you get to beat the Rangers in extras yesterday, knowing that the Tigers did the job in Boston, securing you the AL Central for the second time in as many seasons and the third time in 4. It's just an incredible thing. Like Stephen Vogt's AL Manager of the Year. You're getting runs by John Kenzie Noel, Jonathan Rodriguez, Brian Rocchio, guys at several points in the season I wanted off the roster. And I didn't even want sent to Columbus. Like, send them to Myrtle Beach, were some of these guys. And the fact that they're doing it with outstanding pitching gives me great confidence in the wild card series. Because you're likely tomorrow at 1 o'clock, which is kind of a crazy time, but understandably, you're getting Williams and Skubal. And remember the last time we saw that pitching matchup, how things went for the heroic Cleveland Guardians. Excitement's at an all-time high for this series. Excitement's at an all-time high for me, for this Guardians team that right now I think can go up against any team in baseball.
Meantime,
I feel like both the Guardians and the Reds made it into the playoffs in the most that way for that team. Like, the Guardians get a hit by pitch with the bases loaded. And then the Reds, it comes down to the final day, they lose, but the Mets suck even worse, so the Reds get in. Like, it's awesome that both of these teams are in the playoffs. I'm officially back paying attention, watching the Cincinnati Reds, although they're going to be late. They're taking on the Dodgers. Yeah. They're going to be the late games, so I would rather be leaving here tomorrow going to watch the Reds at 1 o'clock than having to stay up at 9. But I think I've said this way back when, in the beginning of the year, that if the Reds could make the postseason, they would be a dangerous team in a playoff series with the starting pitching that they have. And when you can throw Nick Lodolo, Andrew Abbott, Hunter Green, which Hunter Green I'm guessing will start tomorrow, Brady Singer in there as well. And now you have guys like Nick Martinez and Chase Burns, who were starters for you in the bullpen, helping the bullpen. The Reds are a dangerous team. The Dodgers are a tall test, but man, wouldn't an I-71 series be great?
Andrew sends this in at 971 BFS. Cincinnati's 1-5 against Los Angeles. They've been in every game except for one. They got shut out at the end of August, but in every single and all of the other games, Cincinnati's been in it with LA.
Yeah, so your schedule for tomorrow, Tigers Guards 108, first pitch on that one up in Cleveland. The two other series in the wild card round, Padres at Cubs, that's a 308. Red Sox at Yankees. You imagine how big of a deal that would have been? That's all anyone would, like 20 years ago, that's all anyone would have talked about. Red Sox, Yankees in a wild card game at 6:08. Then Reds and Dodgers at 9:08. Real quick on the Ryder Cup. Go ahead, Bake. You want to make a quick point?
I was just going to say, how about this? Scotty Vegas' brother-in-law back in July threw $100 on the Guardians to win the AL Central at 150-1.
God bless him. I love that.
Drinks on him
forever. Is great. That is great. Team USA gets bombed in the Ryder Cup. Furious comeback on Sunday, but at that point I was out. Like it was such long odds for them to make a run at it that I did not pay much attention to it and would get like a social media thing that had gotten closer, but it ends up 15-11 in the Ryder Cup. I do think I know that people are going to want to crush, and Bake, I'm sure you'll be among them, are going to want to crush Rory for what he said, that some of the behavior was unacceptable. But he's right. It is unacceptable. You get to, as someone who is paying to go to a sporting event, you can go to a sporting event and you can, with your mouth, say almost anything that you want. Hopefully you have some sort of conscience about, or some sort of guilt about saying things around certain people of certain ages. Have a little bit of common sense. But when you start spilling beer on guys' wives, I mean, it went way overboard in every possible way. And I think Rory's right. And I think if you listen to his full presser, it's a much more measured answer. What's going to get the attention is this behavior is unacceptable. But at the same time, if you listen to the whole answer, I think it makes a lot more sense.
I'm totally okay with it. Like, don't be a jerk at a sporting event. Like, you should be tossed out if you're acting a certain way or you're too drunk to be able to function as a normal adult. I'm far more upset with Team USA that they still haven't figured out how to play team. They're good in singles matches, but they can't play the team games after all these years. That's the thing that's frustrating. Bo, I just so happened to turn over right when Shane Lowry made the putt.
Did you?
To retain.
To clinch it? Yeah.
I just, why isn't it done then? Like, I don't understand that. Like, if they keep the cup, okay, it's over.
Yeah.
Well, why is winning it? You kept it. You won it. You did what you had to. Like, that. Okay, Ryder Cup over. Team Europe wins.
My guess is because they had television window that was still owned, that they had to continue to fill. That's my guess is why that happened. But, it was a beatdown from Team Europe again, even though it ends up 15-13. All right, second hour of the program coming up next. A wild Saturday night in college football. And James Franklin continues to be James Franklin. We'll get to all of that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Catch the latest from the world of Ohio State athletics. Weeknights at 6 on The Buckeye Show. New special guests in everything scarlet and gray. The Fan.
More and more these days, people who are in pain are trying to take control of their health. They want to look beyond the traditional medicine of going to just a normal doctor. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. People just like you and me are finding lasting relief without steroids, medication, surgery, right here in Columbus, Ohio at QC Kinetics. You'll be treated by the highly regarded orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Ray Tesner, founder of Grant Sports Medicine. Here's how it works. Your blood contains many tiny but mighty healing tools. At QC Kinetics, Dr. Tesner and his team will get to the root of where your pain stems from, right down to the cells that are involved. By putting these natural elements to work, your body, it can revitalize your joints, literally using your own body's biologics to heal you. It's a simple injection, not a hospital stay, no drugs, it's fast, all natural, and there's no downtime. So if it's knees, backs, hips, whatever it may be, give QC Kinetics a call for your free consultation. 380-208-4544, 380-208-4544, QCkinetics.com/Columbus.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with a team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate, or go to bathsrus.com, 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Get the MVP, more value price from Coghlan Kia, Central Ohio's largest volume Kia dealer. Get 0% financing on a new 25 Kia Sorento or 3.49% on a new 25 Telluride. Visit CoglanKia.com.
Coghlan has the car for you.
Based on January to December 2024 retail sales, 0% for 48 months and 3.49% for 60 months equals $20.83 and $18.19 per 1,000 finance through Kia Motor Finance. Not all will qualify. All qualified manufacturer incentives to dealer. Prior sales excluded. Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. Ends 9/30/25.
Common Man here for Hollywood Casino and the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Timmy, it's football season. That means winning and fun.
Oh, yeah. We have tailgate buffets for all of our watch parties. The 3 apps for $12 special. $25 Miller Lite buckets.
And don't forget the crab legs. That's extended through September.
So reserve a table at HollywoodColumbus.com.
And how about this for new members? Sign up for the rewards program on the Penn Play app. Get a $20 dining credit.
And you get more crab legs.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, crab legs.
Crab leg problem? Call 1-800-CRAB-LEGS.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
Hey, you mind keeping it down up there, please?
KeyBank will meet you in that I need new neighbors moment.
Rick, it's your mortgage loan officer, Beth. I was in the neighborhood and wanted to let you know your home loan application's been approved.
Beth, you're always there for me, and not a moment too soon.
Are your neighbors bowling with grand pianos again?
And apparently raising livestock?
Ugh.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 399797.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast-track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
One of our specialties here at Pella Wilson is getting rid of old, smaller windows with no view and replacing them with huge, beautiful windows that can change the look and feel of your home.
We tried that once, but we cut the hole a bit too big, so we had to put in a garage door instead in their dining room.
Wilson.
Didn't improve the view, but they do have a drive-through now, so you're welcome, Gruball family.
Get the windows that can change the look and feel of your home at PellaColumbus.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Number 1 Ohio State remains perfect on the season. Buckeyes won at Washington 24-6 over the weekend. OSU opens Big Ten play with a win. They'll return to the shoe this Saturday to battle 3-1 Minnesota. It'll be a 7:30 p.m. kick for a homecoming. Buckeyes are 23.5-point favorites. Head coach Ryan Day will join Buckeye Roundtable tonight at 6:30. Following the Roundtable of Monday Night Football on the Fan, it's a doubleheader. We'll have Bengals Broncos on the Fan. Cincinnati looks to improve to 3-1 on the season. Tonight's other NFL game features 2 0-3 teams. Jets are at the Dolphins. Last night, the Packers and Cowboys played to a 40-40 tie. The Browns and Ravens are both 1-3 following losses Sunday. And in baseball, the Reds and Guardians are in the playoffs. Cleveland clinched the AL Central on Sunday. Guardians will host the Tigers in Game 1 of the AL Wild Card on Tuesday, while the Reds will play at the LA Dodgers in Game 1 of the NL Wild Card tomorrow night at 9. You can hear Reds playoff baseball right here on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
When General Sherman marched through Georgia, he was listening to this show.
Use your skills for good, young warrior.
This is Bishop and Friends.
Second hour of the program on a Reaction Monday edition. I think Ohio State is playing the best football in the country right now, and I think Ohio State has the highest ceiling of anyone in the country. Now, the second part, I think we all thought was possible. The first part, this quick, I'm not sure anybody thought was possible as quickly as this has come. I do think they're playing the long game offensively. Had a great tweet from on social. It's on social, so it must be true, that Ohio State has ran fewer offensive plays than everyone besides ODU and Cincinnati. But they're 12th in yards per play. That's from Golf Track. So good job out of him if that is indeed true, and I have no reason to believe that it's not. That's what it feels like. They're not trying. They're not running tempo. They're not doing any of that. They're trying to just win games and on to the next, win games, on to the next. And then they work on things in between because they're trying to play 16 games around here. I think if you're going to make an argument, if there is a team playing better right now or up to the level of Ohio State at bare minimum, it's a team that I had number 2 in my poll last week, and it's Oregon. Oregon went to Happy Valley, is up 17-3. You got to give Drew Aller a little bit of credit in what was an absolute classic game. He makes a throw that gets him back in it. They eventually tie it. But in classic Penn State, and unfortunately, and I hate doing this because he's an Ohio kid, this is what has dogged James Franklin and Penn State, and it's what's dogged Drew Aller, that when a talent equates, they fail. They failed, and this isn't just a Drew Aller problem. This is a James Franklin problem. He dropped to 4-21 versus top 10 teams. They have lost 15 straight games to top 10 teams. It's stupefying that this is the way that it goes. My hunch is, if you're a Penn State fan, what you're about to hear is maddening, but maybe there just isn't the passion over there like you would think it would be. Although when you watch a whiteout, it certainly looks like it is. Here's James Franklin on the top 10 team struggles.
I get that narrative, and it's really not a narrative. It's factual. It's the facts. I get it, but I try to look at the entire picture and what we've been able to do here. But at the end of the day, we got to find a way to win those games. I totally get it, and I take ownership and I take responsibility. At the end of the day, I wanted that for those kids in that locker room. I wanted that for those kids in that locker room, how hard they work, how much they sacrifice, and we had our opportunities. But yeah, I take responsibility.
What do you do with him?
I guess you keep him forever. Give him a lifetime contract.
I don't know what you do, because I understand. I've talked to people over there, Reese, buddies of mine. I got one of my good buddies. He's actually going to be at our house tomorrow night. Known him forever. Penn State alumnus. And I know that they want more, but I also know that there's a fear that could they become a museum program? Could they become one of these teams that kids don't want to go to anymore? He's got them in the mix. They're in the college football semifinal last year. They were the number 3 team in the country going into this one. It's hard for me to come up with a scenario. I hate to do this, but is it a little like Coop with Michigan in the 90s? I mean, those teams were better at Ohio State at that time, where they were always ranked in the top 5 or 6. There's just I can't make sense of it. I don't have there's no reference point I have in college football for a team that struggles when talent equates the way this one does.
Yeah, I think it's on a level of its own. Like, to try to compare what James Franklin's done in terms of his games against teams in the top 25 it doesn't have peer. It's, I think, something that I would want as a Penn State fan to change, because I do think something's got to give here. You cannot just keep doing this and packing 111,000 in that stadium with one of the best environments in all of college football, only to have a heartbreaking interception seal things in double overtime. And you put it against the record against teams in the top 10. And you go, well, that's what we're trying to be, and we can't get above those. Then we should probably change something and try to get to that level, but we're so scared of falling so far back from that level that we're going to keep doing the same thing. I mean, it's not quite the definition of insanity, but you're getting there, Penn State fan.
I understand it. And the thing I would say to Penn State fan or anyone else is the same thing that I said last year when people around here were like, Ryan Day can't win a big game. He's got to go. He's got to go. He can't win a big game. And I would say the same thing is, who are you going to bring in? And not like an idea like, well, we could get this guy, we could get this guy. Like, literally, who are you going to get and bring in that's going to be better? And listen, the fear of not having what you have now is real, I think, because we talk about Bo Pelini in Nebraska before and how they were 9-3 every year with him. And then he went and it fell off the table. I will say this. I was pretty impressed with Penn State Saturday night. Now, they end up losing in the end, but they got down by 2 touchdowns and came back. And listen, I've had questions about Drew Aller. And can Drew Aller make a play when Penn State needs him to in a big game? And he made 2 in that fourth quarter. He made 1 with his legs, and then he made a beautiful throw. Now, the rest of the game might have been a struggle for him, but when they needed him in those 2 moments, he made really key big plays. And listen, I put that interception on overtime. I put that more on the scheme of the Oregon defense and just a great play by a great safety in Dylan Thieneman than the throw that Aller made there. I think Thieneman did a great job of peeling off of where he was supposed to be and realizing what was happening, and just that's a guy that's going to play safety in the NFL next year.
Yeah.
And it was a great, great play. That was a fantastic. And I came in the third quarter when it was 3-3. That's about the time I got home. That was a fantastic college football game.
Dude, you're not going to beat a Saturday night where I had that on one screen and I had Bama, Georgia on the other. You can't beat
Split
that.
box.
You can't do it. It's as good as can be. And it reminded me very much of the game that we played over there in 2014, where Christian Hackenberg let him down, and they get a score at the end of regulation. Every place is going nuts. And how did that game end? Joey Bosa, sack off. See on down the road, whiteout. And look what it did for that team and propelled them. And I'm not sure that same thing can't be true for Lanning and Oregon. Folks, that squad is real. That is real. Do you realize that since they've entered the Big Ten, they have not lost a Big Ten game? We beat them in the Rose Bowl. They're undefeated. They're undefeated. And Lanning said when they entered the league, like, he's walking the walk and talking the talk. He said the Big Ten better prepare for us. We ain't lost. Not in Big Ten games. Won a Big Ten championship last year. Got bombed in the Rose Bowl, obviously, but everything else. We went out there and lost last year. They go to Happy Valley and lose at night with a kid in his first year as a starter at Oregon. He's a stud. Moore's a stud. They're really good. Oregon's ceiling is right there, I think, with the ceiling around here. I think the two best teams in the country reside in the Big Ten. And it's Ohio State and it's Oregon.
Are we not sure the three best teams in the country don't reside in the Big Ten? Franklin aside.
Penn State team is really good.
I just don't trust them. I don't trust
in the
Eller.
big moments.
No, I don't. I think. Yeah, I don't know that for sure. I don't know that for sure, Bake. I can't come up here and say I just don't trust that coach.
He's not giving you a reason to.
At the highest level, I don't. But they might be. To your, they might be. They might be the three.
They're as talented as almost anybody.
Yeah.
But that if the head coach continues to be your anchor, holding you down.
Yeah. It's also weird to me that I didn't even look at the box. Okay, so this is weird to me. It's weird to me that you have Oregon's a nice team. They're more than a nice. They're a really good team. But it's strange to me that Penn State, with a guy who a lot of people thought would have been maybe even a first-round pick had he, certainly after the first two playoff games they played, maybe not the Notre Dame game, had Aller gone out, he would have been a second-round pick, first-round pick. He goes 14-25 in this game. The two running backs, who are both pros, how can they not get anything going on the ground? Allen is 12 for 54. Nick Singleton in this game was 11 for 21. How's that possible to not go? I mean, it's one thing to lose to Oregon. Oregon's really good. Like, there's no shame in that. That happens. Ohio State lost to him out there. But the way that it looks for Penn State is just still so clunky offensively. You might be right from a talent standpoint, Bake. I just don't trust the people that are calling the shots over there at all. Saturday night culminated a spectacular Saturday in college football where a lot of things were found out, I think, about a lot of teams. We'll get into all of that coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Wake up with The Fan. Eat lunch with The Fan. Go to bed with The Fan. Dream about The Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Right now, red, green, or black seedless grapes are on sale for only $1.77 a pound with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
The claws are out.
Fox Monday, James Day is all new. First,
we have an Oscar winner in the house.
Jane Krakowski welcomes Mira Sorvino to the Celebrity Name That Tune podium.
I can name that tune in one note.
Wow. Then, 4 famous reality couples get a reality check from Jane Lynch.
Who just realized there's no smart one in their relationship?
All new Celebrity Name That Tune, followed by an all-new Celebrity Weakest Link.
Tonight, starting at 8 on Fox 28.
At the end of the day, the sun sets on Central Ohio, but stories are still unfolding. Every voice, every neighborhood, every question that still needs answers. Fox 28 News at 10 is there in the quiet moments and at the turning points, digging deeper, finding solutions, lifting up the communities that shape who we are. At the end of the day, you deserve a team that's on your side. Fox 28 News at 10, always on your side.
Skyline's new chicken chili is here. Now you can enjoy that legendary Skyline taste with a new protein option. Try Skyline's chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. Feeling good. It's Skyline time.
College is great. You know what else is great? Pizza, which you can buy with your Huntington Bank debit card with the Ohio State University logo. Huntington Bank is proud to be the official consumer bank of The Ohio State University. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome.
Is your business craving efficiency? Is it hungry for productivity? Then there's a tech solution you should implement now if you want to crush your KPIs and you also want BLTs or burrito bowls or like bagels. It's called EasyCater, one platform for ordering food from a huge variety of restaurants for all your workplace needs. From falafel for the finance team to lasagna for the luncheon mart. Plus tools to help you save time and stay on budget. Ready to nail your deliverables? Order now at easycater.com.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube, along with those fake YouTube ads like Chew This Gum and It Grows New Teeth. Experience the splendor of Bo sitting in his closet, Timmy Hall's gouty gold chains, and Matty Ice wearing a coat in 90-degree weather. It's all there. Head to YouTube and subscribe today.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, you might not be big on technology, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Maybe you've gone through a divorce or a bad breakup or a relative moved out. It's been hard, and you just want to take what you want and leave the rest behind. I will help you. Retiring and want to sell your commercial properties or land. I will help you. Sellers, whether you're selling as is or selling for top dollar, you're no longer alone. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Here's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. More sunshine with mid-80s in the forecast, but gradually cooling down through the week as we have highs in the lower 80s on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then back down to the 70s here by Thursday and Friday. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
1, 2, 3. Football season is weird because we actually look forward to Mondays. It's Reaction Monday.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan. With friends like these, who needs former college football players? This is Bishop and Friends.
Indeed it is, and we are proudly sponsored by our great friends at Diamond Cellar, your true jeweler for over 78 years. It was as good as you want it to be on a Saturday night with Penn State and Oregon. It was fun going out of our game right into those. It ends up being like a 10-hour stretch on the couch is the way that it kind of works. I had to get up and like walk around a little bit, get some shots up just to like get the blood flowing again, because you could have just stayed there the whole time. The evening games were stunning. The afternoon games were stunning. This was a showdown barometer Saturday is what it is. You figured out what teams can play and who can't. It's a long season. So unlike in the old days, when if you were to suffer one of these losses, you'd go, oh yeah, you're cooked. You're not cooked anymore. I mean, this all started on Friday night with Florida State losing at Virginia. Good call out of you, Bake. The Noles got off to a slow start, got it all the way back, and then Virginia got it done in the end. By the way, the field storming there was outrageous. Like the
player almost got killed.
That was crazy. Like we got to have get State of Virginia, get some guys on horseback to hold that off until you clear the field a little bit. Like that was crazy what happened. And then Saturday night, you got Penn State and Oregon. You got Alabama and Georgia. In the afternoon, Ole Miss winning against LSU with Chambliss, who, by the way, I don't know how they go back to Simmons at this point. I don't know how you could.
I don't think you can.
How could you? The kid throws for 300 and he runs for 100 almost every game, and a massive win for them. And then Illinois bouncing back. I thought I did pretty well on the scores. I ended up 7-4, and then I saw what Bake did, and I went, I believe the table is yours, Bake, at 10-1.
Damn you, Lane Kiffin. Damn you, Kiffin.
That was the only one?
You give us great sound bites, but you cost me a perfect week.
Neither of you got burned on the Fernando Mendoza odd safety at the end there?
No.
Or he just continues to run?
Because it was within it. It was
8.5.
Okay. It was 8.5.
Yeah.
So we both had Iowa in that one. But you picked Bama. Let's go there now. Turns out Kalen DeBoer can coach. He's the opposite of James Franklin. All he does is win big games. Like that's when he plays ranked teams, he wins them. He absolutely owned Lanning when he was at Washington, and that's continued. That was a spot for them where I thought he had the second most pressure of the week behind Franklin was on DeBoer because of what happened in the Florida State game. And they went into Georgia, into Athens, and they played ball. They let Simpson play, and boy, did he. He spun it around. I thought Georgia would win just because I didn't know if Alabama could go in there and get it done. But Georgia is not what they were. They don't have it like they had it 3 or 4 years ago, not defensively and definitely not at quarterback. This Gunnar Stockton kid, he's not special in that sense.
I especially thought it was cooked for Bama when Ryan Williams drops probably the easiest touchdown pass that I think Justin Zwick was saying this on the Buckeye postgame show that he's got like 12 drops on the season.
Yeah, they put that graphic
Are we in
up.
week 5?
I mean, that's a lot. And he was walking in. I mean, there wasn't anybody within 10 yards of him. He just, I don't know. It's like the yips, right? Sometimes you can't throw to first base or you can't hit a wedge. I mean, that's kind of what it seems like to me with him.
Bo, I think you hit the nail on the head with this, right? And it's why I kept saying, like, that week 1 game against Florida State really didn't affect how I thought about Bama. Yeah. Kalen DeBoer can coach, and I've said it all along. The guy in a full season has never won less than 9 games. Anywhere he's been, any level of football. He didn't forget how to coach. That roster got pillaged after Saban left last year, and they still got to 9 wins, and I thought they were going to be fine. And listen, if I'm Georgia today, it sucks losing to Alabama, right? And I'm high on Alabama. I think they're a pretty good football team. Georgia has a better shot to make the college football playoff right now than Alabama because their path is way simpler. Alabama's about to run a gauntlet here.
They got Vandy on Saturday.
I mean, every team they play, I think, but one the rest of the way is ranked right now. Georgia, I believe, only has 1, maybe 2 ranked teams left on their schedule.
Well, last year, Georgia was on the other end of that, right?
Yeah.
They had the crazy schedule, and this year it reverts back a little bit for them. I'll tell you what, I don't know who's the best team in the SEC. I mean, I don't want Kiffin to ever leave Ole Miss because I think it's the perfect combination of his personality. What? He has.
There's a lot of Florida rumblings right now.
Yeah.
Is that a better job, though?
It is.
Maybe.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I think it. I don't know if it's a better job for him, Reese. I don't know if it's a better job for him.
Because Ole Miss feels like the right spot for this.
I think Ole Miss is perfect because nobody in Oxford is sitting there going like, all right, we got to win the national title. Like they're not, he could lose his next 3. He just beat LSU in Oxford. If he wins the Egg Bowl at the end of the year, they'll build statues for him. So, like, the expectation are totally different. He goes to Florida. He's got to, they're delusional, but they expect it to win national titles.
Real quick, speaking of Florida, just because he coached there before, I was looking for an Urban Meyer quote last night because I saw he said some things on the fans at Penn State, and then he said some things on Dabo Swinney. You look Urban Meyer right now on Twitter, it is all USC. All the USC fans want Urban Meyer at USC right now. It is insane how much USC, Urban Meyer to USC talk there is on Twitter.
He's never getting back to coaching because he's not signing up for this, and he would not go back to USC. Like that would not. He'd be more likely to go back to Florida, I think, than go to USC. I don't think he wants any part of that situation. Brian Kelly at LSU. I don't know what you do with him either there, because.
Well, you don't ask him about his offense.
No.
Remember? Don't ask him that.
Can't ask him about that. He had the returning quarterback. There were so few schools in the conference that did. He did have the returning quarterback. And offensively, they're just a complete mess, a total mess. And LSU goes into Ole Miss. Ole Miss was favored for a reason, and Ole Miss handles their business. You picked it right. I didn't. This is one of the ones I got wrong. My thinking of it was, okay, like, are we sure Lane Kiffin can have this nice of stuff at Ole Miss? And as it turns out, he can. That's why I hope he never leaves. I get why he would. I understand why he would maybe want to, but I hope he doesn't. I hope he stays there, because I think in a way, it's kind of the perfect place there. Nothing would tickle me more than him being there for like the next 15 years, winning like one SEC title. Like they would build statues for him to do that.
Bo, I didn't have this one right because I had LSU. This was my one miss.
Oh, you got this?
This was my one miss of the week because I just didn't think that Ole Miss, as good as they are, was good enough to beat LSU here. It was funny. Yesterday, I was going home from the call-in show. I had On the Money on, listening to those guys, and Nate was producing, and they do a little segment called This or That, and he said, who would you rather have coaching in a big game right now, Brian Kelly or James Franklin? And it was like, oof.
Jeez, probably Kelly. He's gone to Tuscaloosa and won and stuff, but yeah, I mean it's a tough spot on that one. The USC Illinois thing was pretty easy to predict. I don't know anybody who didn't see that coming. You knew that Illinois wasn't as bad as that result in Indiana led you to believe. You combine that with USC is hosting Michigan this week. You are flying across the country to Champaign, Illinois, to play at noon, which is 9 a.m. body clock for you in your place. That is not a recipe for success at all. And I knew that at bare minimum, I knew Illinois would cover, thought there was a chance that they would win, and they did. I still think USC's fine, though. Like, I think they'll be fine. I think the way they came back in the fourth was nice. I think Maeva's going to be fine, and I think they'll be okay. They're not in the top echelon with Ohio State, Oregon, and Penn State. But I still think this year is a step in the right direction for Lincoln Riley at USC.
I'll tell you what, the Trojans can get into the college football playoff conversation at 10-2.
For sure.
I think they beat Michigan. I think they beat Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame's still a fraud. And then they might drop the end of this season, or at least the penultimate game, to Oregon.
I'll tell you what, I'm not going to go fraud with Notre Dame. I think that the USC Notre Dame game is really frisky.
100 points.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. I also think that the two losses Notre Dame has, I think both those teams are pretty decent. I think Miami's pretty decent, and I think A&M's pretty decent.
I'm exactly opposite of you on that, Reese. This may be a step in the right direction for USC. They've got a bye next week. Then, to me, they lose 2 in a row, and Oregon will boat race. They just don't play defense. They have no defense.
I think what we are seeing around the sport, in the Big Ten, I think we have a line of demarcation. It's Ohio State, Oregon, it's Penn State. Indiana is trying to knock on that door, and then I think it's a little bit of a gap. Good job at it. By the way, I'm not crushing Cignetti for getting a win at Kinnick. That's a tough place to play. You knew I would be ready. They battled. They made plays. They won the game. That's all that matters in that place. So I'm not crushing him for that. I think that's get out of there with a win and on to the next. That's his attitude, and I think that's fine. We'll get Austin Ward's perspective on all of this. He was out in Seattle. He comes up in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Save a good deal more on Meijer brand must-haves all season long. Enjoy big savings on back-to-school breakfast favorites for under $2, like Meijer syrup, Meijer cereal, and Meijer pastry treats for just $1.79. And Meijer frozen waffles are only $1.99. Shopping for back-to-school breakfast essentials is a good deal better at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
We're 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
I was told you could make us feel better.
You're suffering from too much junkitis. Point at something you haven't used lately.
Wow, it's gone. Try it, honey. You'll feel light as a feather.
Something I haven't used?
All you have to do is point.
I feel like I'm flying.
That's the sound of optimism and energy and possibilities.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOTJUNK.com.
For years, you've been hearing us talk about the Newman Roofing difference, delivering nothing short of an excellent customer experience each and every single time, from the first phone call to the end of your project. But don't take our word for it. Take a listen to our friend John and his Newman Roofing experience.
Well, the first thing that drew me to Newman Roofing is the extraordinary Google score of 5.0. That was the first indication to me that this was going to be a good experience. Overall, the experience with Newman Roofing was wonderful. When I came home, the job was completely finished. The crew had cleaned up and left. I wouldn't have known that they were there.
What star rating would you give Newman Roofing on Google?
I would, without hesitation, award Newman Roofing a 5-star rating on Google.
Any advice for those looking for a new roof, John?
Once you have contact with Newman Roofing, you'll understand why everybody's giving them a 5-point rating.
Do what John did and schedule your free roof or siding consultation with Newman Roofing. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online today at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
He knows everything about the Buckeyes. He's been offered tens of dollars by a certain team to spill his secrets. He's told that certain team to go to hell.
Damn you all to hell!
He's Austin Ward.
Sponsored by High Bank Distillery, your destination for handcrafted cocktails, locally inspired dishes, and award-winning whiskey war. Learn more at highbankco.com.
All right, buddy. Was that the first time you've ever been out there for a game?
It was the first time I'd ever been to Washington or to Husky Stadium. I'd been out to Seattle for a soccer game, but being on their campus and seeing the sailgating, I got to tell you, Bo, it was really, really awesome. I tend to be a bit of a curmudgeon. I'm feeling like as I'm getting older and complaining about press boxes and travel and all those things. And I'm trying to be cognizant of that, but everything about what they did out there was, I think, top notch. It lived up to the billing, which I think is also why it made a pretty satisfying afternoon for Ohio State on Saturday, because that place is not easy to get in and out of with a victory. They've won 22 straight there. We all know that. But everything that they did was, I think, top notch all the way around, and it was very cool.
I was curious because when Oregon and Washington came in, I said, when you guys go out there, you're going to be stupefied that the Big Ten said, yeah, we'll take you, but you got to take half. Like, you think of the venues you go to regularly in the Big Ten, and like that one is a half price in that city. I think the ceiling for them is really, really high. I honestly thought I kept coming back to the word perfect. I think it was almost the perfect first road test for Ohio State in every way. What were some of your big thoughts?
Yeah, it really was, because it was going to reveal so much about Ohio State, and I think every box was checked. If we talked about for the last 2 weeks, during that off week and then last Monday, just looking ahead, okay, how is Julian Sayin going to handle that noise? I think right in that first drive, I looked over and they had the decibel meter up there on the screen, and it was around 120. Julian Sayin wasn't fazed by any of that. And I don't know that comes as a major surprise, but you don't know until you know. He didn't back down from Texas at an elite defense in week one, his first home start, first college football start. This was his first road start, first Big Ten start, and I think more than the noise and the communication and command of the huddle and line of scrimmage and all that stuff was going to be more of a test than Washington's defensive talent. So he answered that challenge. I think he is only getting better, and you're going to continue to see more and more given to him as you move forward here in this stretch. So he passed that. Then you had, how much of this is real for Ohio State's defense with the start they've been off to? Because Arch Manning and Texas have struggled. Maybe that wasn't as meaningful. What is Damon Williams going to do? What is Jonah Coleman going to do? What is Denzel Boston going to do? The answer is none of them were able to find the end zone against Ohio State. So now you're looking at 2 scores given up in 4 games, 22 points total. It's pretty remarkable what Matt Patricia is cooking up with that group, and all 11. But I think, to go take it one step further, the last 8 months were about this Ohio State defensive line, and if they could meet the standard from Jack, JT, Ty, and Ty a year ago, and Caden Curry and Caden McDonald especially are just absolute monsters right now. And Wednesday night, and I don't want to leave him out of this conversation. Statistically, Kenyatta Jackson, didn't quite meet that same level of what those two guys were doing next to him. But on Wednesday after practice, he had a massive brace on his left leg. It looked like he could barely walk. I talked to him, as he was leaving the stadium on Saturday. Like, not only did he look fully healthy, he didn't have a brace on during the game. He had probably the best game of his Ohio State career on Saturday at Washington, and he was like the third wheel. So kudos to all of those guys. They handled the noise. They handled Washington's offensive talent. They handled the body clocks. And anytime you can beat Washington by any amount in that stadium, you're going to feel really good about it. To do it by 18, I think it deserves a huge tip of the cap to Ryan Day and his staff.
Buddy, this is the best I've ever seen the defensive line work in concert with the back half of the back end of the defense. I thought that their approach for Williams was stunning. The discipline it took to get push but stay in those gaps. Dude, he had negative 28 yards. There was nothing there. There was nothing there. Those guys stayed home. Our 2 leading tacklers were the 2 Cadens, for God's sakes. Like, I just thought it was the most comprehensive defensive plan, and I think that Matt Patricia and Larry Johnson, all the rest of the guys, like, they're just all appear to be, buddy, maybe in a way we haven't seen in a while, all rowing in the same direction.
Yeah, they're working in complete concert. And you mentioned the trip out to Oregon last year, Bo. That was the famous re-engineering conversation, and is the pass rush and the coverage working hand in hand the way that Jim Knowles talked about. And by the end of the year, we know how great and dominant Ohio State was. There's a trophy in the Woody Hayes Athletic Center to prove it, and they were the number 1 defense. But they had opportunities. They gave up some that just made you kind of scratch your head. Certainly against Oregon, but they did come back together. But it always felt like it was a little bit disjointed. That there wasn't perfect harmony between that. And I think you and I were talking right after the Texas game, where it was like college football really messed around, and Penn State and James Franklin feel like they have this coup, and Matt Patricia fell into the lap of Ryan Day and Ohio State, and it was the greatest thing that may have ever happened to this team in terms of going to about a national title defense, because the continuity and the chemistry that appears to exist between Larry Johnson, Matt Patricia, James Laurinaitis, Matt Guerreri, and Tim Walton, and I know that there's a host of other people that are involved. I don't remember there being this like sense of kumbaya and like complete agreement about how to use the personnel on hand in a very long time at Ohio State. Mm-hmm. And that sounds like a crazy thing to say because they just won a national championship, but there is a special vibe that's going on that side of the football right now, and it's on pace to lead to something pretty historic.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. It's just to me, it's the best defense in the country, and I don't think anyone's in the vicinity of it offensively. So this is what I think. I think Ryan is playing the long game here. I keep going back to what he says during the week, and even this week he kind of sounded a little bit like Texas, like just go win the game. They have the third fewest plays in college football right now in the Division I level in terms of plays called. But I think he's perfectly fine with that because he knows what this defense is. And he also wants these games. He's trying to play 16 games. He's trying to keep people healthy. He's just trying to win games and move forward. But I think what you saw in the second half, where 25's in there, you start to trust Julian a little bit more. And I don't think that they lack trust at all. I just don't think it's necessary. In terms of what they are going to be offensively in November, I think you got a little taste of that in the second half. What do you make of Ryan's plan week to week offensively?
Yeah, I think Saturday we're going to look back at it as a little bit of an aberration. I agree with you overall, and I asked someone on that coaching staff as they headed to the bus on Saturday, like, I just have this idea that you guys have fully embraced an NFL mentality with the way day to day and week to week. And with a long-term view. And they said yes, but also Saturday got very wonky in the first half because the length of the possessions that were going on both sides of the football, and then the one that they didn't get because of the Brandon Ennis punt return fumble. Like Washington threw a very different look at them than they had seen on film and what they were expecting, and they only had 3 possessions to account for that and make adjustments. So that was a little bit unusual for them. In a normal game, or even if you played more up-tempo, you could get through that quicker than Ohio State was able to on Saturday. But we've seen this a number of times as well with that NFL mentality. You get into the locker room, you make those adjustments, and if Ohio State just simply plays games that are close, whether they're up or down a score, by the time they adjust on offense and defense in the second half, most teams are not going to be able to account for their physicality and the knowledge on that coaching staff. So it's not, for me, I don't view it as making an excuse or Ohio State just believing it only has to play a half of football to beat opponents. I think that they're content to play or get into a 12-round boxing match because they know that their power and their counters are eventually going to knock somebody out. And would it be great to see a full 4 quarters and up-tempo and airing it out on every single drive? Yeah, I don't think I'd mind that, or anybody would mind watching them do that. But that I don't think is the best way to get through 16 games or more and try and win that trophy at the end. And so some of this stuff we may just have to be a little bit patient because Ryan Day has certainly gotten comfortable with that patient approach and knowing what that can do for his team.
Did you have a good meal out there?
Boy, a lot of liquid meals for sure.
They can do a beer.
There, I mean, yeah, fantastic. That they do it right, and we were staying pretty much like a mile from the Space Needle, so you could throw a rock in every direction and hit a nice craft brewery, and we did that. Here today on Friday night was a great spot. Had a few beverages there and some tachos that I'll be dreaming about forever.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's a great city. I'm glad it's in the rotation. I don't think it makes any sense at all for the non-revenue sports, but for football, I'm glad they're in the mix. Great talking to you as always, buddy.
All right, we'll talk to you next Monday, Bo.
All right, there he goes, Austin Ward, The Beat with Austin Berm and the Roosters live show on YouTube on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We'll do a little thing or not a thing up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State Athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
The claws are out.
Fox Monday, James Day is all new. First,
we have an Oscar winner in the house.
Jay Krakowski welcomes Mira Sorvino to the Celebrity Name That Tune podium.
I can name that tune in one note. Wow.
Then, 4 famous reality couples get a reality check from Jane Lynch.
Who just realized there's no smart one in their relationship?
All new Celebrity Name That Tune, followed by an all-new Celebrity Weakest Link.
Tonight, starting at 8 on Fox 28.
At the end of the day, the sun sets on Central Ohio, but stories are still unfolding. Every voice, every neighborhood, every question that still needs answers. Fox 28 News at 10 is there in the quiet moments and at the turning points, digging deeper, finding solutions, lifting up the communities that shape who we are. At the end of the day, you deserve a team that's on your side. Fox 28 News at 10, always on your side.
Oven-baked French toast. Hot, melty cheese. And meat. And meat. And meat. Introducing UDF's new 3-meat French toast stackwich. Sweet and savory cinnamon swirl French toast piled with thick cut bacon, natural pork sausage, and smoky Canadian bacon. It's the newest flavor in our lineup of breakfast sandwiches. All stacked fresh, all served hot, and all made in store to make your morning. The new 3-meat French toast stackwich from UDF. Mornings made for you.
If you're itching for a new vehicle this fall, you have to go see my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. Hey, it's Anthony. I drive an awesome Ridgeline, and you can drive home the rugged 25 Ridgeline Sport with 0% APR or lease for as low as $299 a month. Or go for the looks and reliability of a 2025 Honda Accord LX, just 3.99% APR or lease it from only $199 a month. Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270, and GermainHondaofDublin.com.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro. On them, it's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no! Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
Come on, you're kind of cute.
Ugh, gross. Can I come over to your house one time and you not have your husband prancing around in its tighty-whities?
Well, I can't do laundry because our septic line is clogged.
Call Dormar. They do same-day plumbing repair.
Dormar, you're kind of cute.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
One of the biggest reasons people get new windows, Wilson, is that old windows make for an uncomfortable house with crazy high roller coaster energy bills.
Leslie, people love being uncomfortable on roller coasters. The ups, the downs, the gurgling in your stomach because you had 5 corn dogs before getting on.
Did that happen to you, Wilson?
What? No.
Get the windows that can completely change the look and feel of your home at PellaColumbus.com.
Skyline's new chicken chili is here. Now you can enjoy that legendary Skyline taste with a new protein option. Try Skyline's chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. Feeling good. It's Skyline time.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Airflow Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Distilled sports discussion served in light beer quantities. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a Reaction Monday. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing?
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Following a 24-19 win over number 4 LSU this weekend, Ole Miss head coach Lane Kiffin was asked about the play of freshman wide receiver Winston Watkins.
Yeah, Winnie's going to be a great player here. Shoot, I'm not supposed to say that because then everybody will go buy him in the portal. Forgot I'm not supposed to do that anymore. I mean, he's just okay, you know? He really doesn't know his plays and stuff, so, you know, it'll be a couple years before he's good. No, Winnie's awesome. He's a really good player.
Thing or not a thing.
He's for the kids out there who don't have any point of reference on this, just Google him. And Lane Kiffin is Steve Spurrier. That's who he is. That's Spurrier. The passive-aggressive stuff, the tongue-in-cheek stuff, the kind of a little bit of a jerk, but God, you love him. I love Kiffin. I love him. I want him to stay there just because I feel like it's the perfect spot for him. I'm sure that the Florida thing will be very intriguing because you can win national championships at Florida. I don't know if you can do that at Ole Miss, but I just adore that dude. That's great. That's perfect.
I don't know where he would be a fit in the Big Ten, but man, I would love to get him in the Big Ten. I think we've got something brewing here with Signetti. Bielema is a guy who's not afraid to speak his mind. Yep. I love kind of the pot shots that Dan Lanning takes at people sometime and will, and I just love kind of his brashness and boldness and cockiness, and it works right now because they're backing it up. But, man, if we could get Kiffin in this conference somewhere, that would be awesome.
The place he's already been.
I mean,
it's USC.
Would they want him back?
Yes.
In a heartbeat.
They did him wrong the last time. They thought Pat, what the heck is his name? I almost said Pat Dye, but that's not it. He was the athletic director there. He played there. He fired him on the tarmac. And the reality is they thought they were just going to go from Carroll to him with no blip. But they were on probation. And he was actually more than fine. Like, they should have just stayed the course with him. I don't know if he'd ever go back there.
Would he go to UCLA? Could we make that happen?
No,
I know they're not.
It's a terrible job.
Yes.
That's a
I don't wish
terrible
that on him.
Mike Garrett, USC's athletic director?
No, it was Pat. Oh, my gosh. It was after Garrett. He used to be a TV guy for a long time. Oh, my God.
Lynn Swan?
No, it wasn't him either.
Was he USC's athletic director at one point?
Pat Hayden.
Pat Hayden
fired him on a tarmac.
All right, I heard you guys like Lane Kiffin. Here's some more, who was appreciative of how Ole Miss students behaved following that win over LSU. For reference, the University of Virginia was fined $50,000 for their students rushing the field following Friday's double overtime winner over then number 8, Florida State.
Hope our fans had a good day. Appreciate them not rushing the field. So, but I think, not to take away from probably extra security, it probably helped. But to me, that's really cool that you get to a place at a program that you do beat the number 3 team in the country and you don't rush the field because we did what we're supposed to do, and that's win the game. And so that makes me happy that this program's got to that place.
Thing or not a thing.
So that one actually has something else, like at the end of it, that's even more classic, where he gets a shot in at LSU. He goes, it's interesting because when we lost to LSU last year in Baton Rouge, they rushed the field there. So read into that what you will. He's perfect. I just love him. I absolutely adore him. I think it's great. And I think you got to remember, I know that a lot of people down there think that every program there is entitled to national championships. Like Arkansas, for example, is out of their mind on what they think they're entitled to. Texas A&M, a lot of them. Tennessee, a lot of them think they're entitled to be what Bama and Georgia is. There's no delusions of grandeur at Ole Miss. They're well aware of what they are. Win the Egg Bowl, beat LSU every once in a while, and by every once in a while, I mean once every 10 years would probably be fine, or 3 times in 10. And so I think they appreciate him in a way that maybe only they can. By the way, the fact that he took, are you guys aware that they're sky blue is not a school color for them? It's not. It's navy blue and red are their school colors. But in the old days, they had a sky blue hat that they would bring out with a red top that they would wear for special games. Kiffin saw the sky blue and goes, we need to wear that a little bit more. And now it's their primary home uniform is sky blue. He just do whatever he wants down there.
And
you can't do that in Florida.
Glorious.
Of course it does. It's undefeated.
This is awesome. And listen, I think the storming the field and the court has gotten way. I remember when it used to happen just for real major things, big things. Now it happens way too much. And listen, that scene in Virginia Friday night was terrifying. I don't know how those people got on the field so fast. It looked like they were already out of the stands and on the field anyway, but that wide receiver just about got trampled.
So they have that grass in that one end zone of the bowl where the Thomas Jefferson pillars are, that's all grass. So they let him get out of his stands and fill that space. And that's how that happened. But you're right. That was dangerous what happened Friday night.
Yeah, extremely. I mean, it's lucky somebody, one of those players, is not in the hospital for that. So, yeah, and listen, isn't that the ultimate flex? We're used to this. Beating you is no big deal. We don't need to rush the court. We don't need to storm the field. We're good.
On Sunday, Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network reported Atlanta Falcons offensive coordinator Zach Robinson is, quote, expected to be on a very short list of candidates to fill the vacant head coach position at Oklahoma State. Rappaport says there's interest in Robinson, but noted there has yet to be contact between the two sides. The 39-year-old Robinson played quarterback for the Cowboys from 2006 to 2009. His arrival in Stillwater marked the start of 18 straight winning seasons under Mike Gundy. Streak ended last season. Oklahoma State finished 3-9. They failed to qualify for a bowl game. Result forced Gundy to take a pay cut heading into this season. He was fired 4 weeks in. Thing or not a thing?
He's, you said he's the offensive coordinator at Atlanta?
Was, I guess, the former now, right? Or no?
What's he doing now? Is he employed?
Yeah. I think he is the offensive coordinator.
Oh, he's the offensive coordinator at Atlanta?
Yeah.
With the Falcons. Okay. The reason I asked is, that's a nice job. He's got a young quarterback. He's got a lot of talent. They bounced back in a big way, beat the Vikings a couple of weeks ago. You got to ask the folks at Oklahoma State, what do you expect this program to be? You need to know that. And then you need to know, where's my money coming from? Because if you look around the Big 12 and you see what Texas Tech is doing in like a year, you think about the money that TCU is going to have to throw around, that Baylor's going to have to throw around. What do you want me to accomplish here? I'd want the real truth on that before I signed up for anything at Oklahoma State. I think that's a tough job.
So, is he the guy that got demoted recently from playing?
So I think it was Canales gave him play calling duties, and they fired their wide receivers coach.
Okay.
So this is what the Falcons did, and I guess it worked.
Yeah. I mean, there are some people that are like, this guy's on the hot seat because their offense isn't scoring enough. I don't know, like, if that means I think there's bigger issues than just him in Atlanta, possibly. And it doesn't mean that he can't coach college football. I think that would be a tough hire for Oklahoma. I mean, maybe Oklahoma State's the perfect place, though, to take a chance on a guy like this that's never been a head coach before, would be a first-time head coach, and maybe right now is the perfect time to do that there. I don't know. He's obviously played for Mike Gundy, so I would think there's probably a lot of similarities there. He's also a little bit of the Sean McVay coaching tree because he first started off with the Los Angeles Rams, and some people would think that is good. So I don't know. Maybe this is the perfect place to take a swing on a guy like this.
Yeah, I think it's the perfect thing for Oklahoma State. I just don't know if I'm him, if I would take it. Because I want to know what I'm signing up for in a big way before I go from the NFL to college football now. We'll blitz the Buckeyes coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
T-Bone and Tyvis are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time. But it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money line, spread, totals, player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Hi, this is Ryan Krieger, and at Krieger Ford, we're offering an amazing $12,000 off MSRP on a new Ford Bronco Badlands. This offer is only from Krieger Ford, so come see us on Morris Road or visit KriegerFord.com today. Home of the Krieger commitment. Best cars, best people, peace of mind.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
Hey friends, it's Austin Ward. Covering college football every week shows you how momentum changes everything. That's what Awaken 180 did for me. Once I started, the progress kept building. I feel more confident, more comfortable in my own skin, and I've got energy again. The numbers matter, But the real story is how much better I feel now. If you want that kind of momentum in your life, to do it and then keep the weight off, do what we all did and choose the solution for weight loss. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. Did you know, right now, the time we are in, that is the best time of year to buy new windows? Yeah, whether you have old drafty windows or the cheap ones that came with your house, September is the perfect month to protect your home against cold, snowy weather. And let's be honest, it's going to get hot later next year anyway, so you want it for then too. Year-round savings with energy-efficient windows from Window Nation, that's one of the best offers they have. But now this month, they have an even better offer. Buy 2 replacement windows, get 2 for free. Plus, you won't pay any interest, monthly payments, or down payment for 2 years. And if you're a Buckeye fan, you've got another reason to buy, because Window Nation will give you 2 free tickets to an upcoming Ohio State football game if you purchase a whole home full of windows. Trusted company, a reasonable price, go Bucks, it's all there. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No interest, no payments until 2027. WindowNation.com or 866-90-NATION to get your free quote today. That's 866-90-NATION or WindowNation.com. Go Bucks.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven.
I feel valued as a member. They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
1-800-GOT-JUNK is your friend with the truck.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
All our people are in uniforms.
And our trucks are clean and shiny.
And big.
We leave spaces empty and clean.
For you.
1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Week 4 in the NFL wraps up tonight with a Monday night doubleheader. The Dolphins host the Jets at 7:15. Both teams are 3-0. 0-3, I should say. Excuse me. At 8:15 in Denver, the Broncos host the Bengals. We'll have that one on the Fan following Buckeye Roundtable. Top-ranked Ohio State's 4-0 and back at the shoe Saturday night for homecoming against 3-1 Minnesota. It'll be a 7:30 p.m. kick. Ryan Day will join tonight's Roundtable program at 6:35. In baseball, the Reds and Guardians are in the playoffs for the first time since 2020 for both Ohio teams in the postseason. Cleveland hosts Detroit in Game 1 of the AL Wild Card tomorrow at 1 o'clock, while Cincinnati is in Los Angeles to battle the Dodgers tomorrow night in Game 1 of the NL Wild Card. You can hear that game on the Fan Tuesday night following Blue Jackets preseason hockey. This update is sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Mark Levy's office at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP, or visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Bo knows many people. He talks to the interesting ones on this show. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, final hour here on a Monday. Howard Griffith, former Illini great BTN analyst, will join us coming up in 27 minutes. Time now to blitz the Buckeyes.
Bishop and Friends present Buckeye Blitz.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
All right, we do this well. A lot of ways you could go here. Where are you going, Bake?
I think I'm going to stay where I was so far this whole year. We play defense really well. And the crazy thing is, Ohio State can do it multiple different ways. I felt like watching this game, Ohio State wasn't nearly as aggressive with their secondary or with Caleb Downs, and they kind of, to me, it almost felt like they played like an umbrella type defense back there because they just knew the explosiveness of these players and they didn't want anything to get behind them. And so it was a little different than what we've seen. Regardless, it was still really effective.
Yeah, put the clamps. Arch Manning, clamps. Parker Navarro, clamps. Damon Williams, clamps.
Yeah, it was a perfect approach defensively. I'll go a different direction here. I think we recruit and develop quarterbacks better than anybody in the country. I think you're not entitled to this. When Ryan said that post-game, after he's interviewed with, I think Jenny Dell's her name, who was doing the post-game interview with him, and he goes, and Julian's standing there to his right, and he goes, this kid's first start was against number 1 Texas. His first road start was here. And he outplayed the other quarterbacks in both. You're not entitled to that. The idea that every time we get a new quarterback in here, they look like they're ready to go It's just a crazy embarrassment of riches that you've had at the position now for quite a while, and there's no end in sight to it. There really isn't. Won't beat Oregon if we continue to do what, Bake?
We can't have any struggles in the red zone. If you get in the red zone against a team like Oregon, you've got to put points on the board. You just have to. Points are critical in games like that. And if you keep struggling, keep questioning, I don't know what it is. Hopefully they get it taken care of. It may just be a mental thing at this point. I don't know, but got to do better. You got to put points on the board when you get the opportunity.
Yeah, brain farts in the red zone was mine. I'm also going to add dropping punt returns on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, those are the two that certainly jump out. I was curious I was trying to remember, you've watched so many games. I was trying to remember the sequence that happened there. Let me pull it up. I want to get that first sequence when we went down there and couldn't get it in the red zone. Obviously, remember the Ohio game quite well. That first red zone sequence, here it is. All right, so let's see. How did it end up? I'm sure this is compelling radio. Here you go. All right, so you're at the 11. You get fourth. Okay, yeah. All right, so on first down, Bo Jackson run for 3 yards. Second down, Julian Sayin incomplete. Third down, Julian Sayin run for 6. Fourth down, C.J. Donaldson runs for no yards on 4th and 1 at the 5. So, yeah, they got to get that cleaned up. I don't know what that is. And this is nitpicky, but we're talking about Oregon and that standard, and I think you are the standard as well. You just got to put it in the paint in those areas, and we saw it in the Ohio game and again on that very first drive, but acknowledging it's nitpicking. I'd like to see more of what, Bake?
I'm going to preface this by saying I'm totally okay with winning games in the trestle ball style. Yeah. But I would like to see them open it up just a little bit and get the ball downfield, because I also think when you play in Oregon, you're going to need to use the full complement of the offense. So even though you don't have to on Saturday to beat Washington, I'd like to see it a little bit just to keep it fresh.
I want to see Caleb Downs return punts. Let's put him back there.
I love Ennis, but they probably need to do something there. Yeah, I think that's it as well. I'd like to see more from Carnell Tate. They don't. It feels like they don't target. I think he's a much better weapon than what we've seen so far. In the two money games, the game against Texas and the game Saturday against Washington, it's 2 for 49 and an incredible catch in the Texas game, and in the Washington game, just 3 for 33. I think there's more there for him, and I think that'll come as the season goes along once they start to open things up a little bit. But I'd like to see a little bit more of that. Coach, who earned his courtesy car, who do you got, Beck?
The man that everybody keeps saying is retiring and the game has passed him by, old Larry Johnson. We were, if we had one concern about this defense this year, it was defensive line and defensive line depth and all of that. Caden Curry sure seems to be coming into his own. Caden McDonald seems like a monster in the interior of that line. And like I told you guys, I was impressed with the discipline of Kenyatta Jackson, just doing what he was supposed to do in that defense when it could have easily been like, oh, the quarterback's right there, I can go get him. Nope, he stayed where he needed to be. This defensive line was humming on Saturday.
Yeah, I think I gave cars to the entire defensive coaching staff week 1. They can just keep them. If they want to upgrade, they are certainly eligible for a sports car upgrade.
Yeah, they're ready for it. A lot of ways you could go here. I just think Patricia, as the orchestrator of all of this, has been such a revelation. And not just what they're doing from a game plan. I don't know if you guys saw the image of him smiling ear to ear, giving a big, huge bear hug to Jeremiah Smith. What a great hire for Ryan. This guy had no college football experience, but he's a brilliant defensive mind. He saw that, he put him in the mix, and Patricia's just bought into all of it. I thought for sure this was like a 2-year thing. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's longer than that for Matt. I don't know. But he's doing an incredible job. And I had Larry writ down, too, because I think the old fella deserves it, because he crushed it, and his guys crushed it on Saturday. Game Ball's offense, Bake, who do you got?
To me, I've got to give this one to Julian Sayin this week for going on the road, playing pretty much mistake-free football, and listen, it's his first big road test in a loud crowd, a loud environment, and he aced it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Julian's the right answer. I'm going to give it to Carson Hinsman. I don't think Ohio State had a pre-snap penalty until late in the game. Might have been late third, early fourth quarter. That offensive line certainly handled the atmosphere and the crowd noise better than Washington's.
And Reese, to your point, I saw Ohio State named Offensive Player of the Game as Luke Montgomery in this one. So the coaches must have been impressed with the O-line this week.
Yeah, there's only one Buckeye who was graded higher by PFF than Julian Sayin, and that was Jeremiah Smith. First road start in that spot to play that way. Good on you, kid. Well done. Game ball's defense, Bake. Which way you want to go here?
I'm sure you guys are going to go D-line, so I'm going to go in opposite direction. I'm going to go Davison Igbinosun. This guy, when he walked on campus from Ole Miss a few years ago, I felt like just kind of changed the attitude and the swagger of the defense. And the one real big question coming into this year was pass interference with this guy. Well, he's played pretty clean back there, and he loves the challenge of taking on a guy like Denzel Boston, and did a pretty damn good job on Saturday. He's a hell of an open field tackler for a cornerback. Maybe the best tackling cornerback Ohio State's had since Antoine Winfield, possibly. I mean, he's
Denzel
really
was pretty good.
Denzel Ward was pretty good too, but man, I mean, I just love the swagger that IGB plays with.
Baker, I thought you were going to go defensive line, so I went special teams game ball to Jaden Fielding, who was perfect and also had a touchdown-saving tackle on a kickoff return.
Look, I gave him a table on Saturday. Let's not make this more complicated than it is. Caden, 5 sacks, 11 tackles for loss. The top 2 leading tacklers came from the defensive line. That tells you the story of the game right there. Big Ten threat level. Who in the league got your attention this week, Bake?
So this might be a little crazy because they lost, but we had questions to how good Penn State was. Well, that football team's really good. Maybe their coach can't get them over the hump, but I think that's not their fault. I think that Penn State football team is really good. Quite possibly could be the 3rd best team in the country. It's just the 2 teams that are better than them play in their conference.
Reese, where did you have Penn State apologist Ryan Baker on your bingo card?
It was not on the card.
Yeah, I didn't have it either.
I had him eat, maybe Justin Herbert mea culpa before anything.
Oh, baby, I can't wait till tomorrow.
Anything Penn State related.
Till that.
I mean, Drew Aller can only hit 1 deep ball a game. You're getting to attract me with this Ohio State team on November 1st. Good luck to you, kid from Medina. It's Oregon. Oregon's the only team, I think, right now in the Big Ten that can make it a 4-quarter game with this Ohio State squad. And, yeah, they were slow against Penn State, but late in that 4th quarter and in overtime, that looked like the Oregon that we thought they were going to be with Dante Moore at quarterback.
Yeah, I'm not going to repeat. I think Oregon's the 2nd-best team in the country. I think they proved that on Saturday night going into that. I think Illinois and Indiana both deserve some flowers. Indiana for going to Iowa, being up against the wall, and just get a win, man. Just find a way, and they did. And then Illinois rebounding from a real embarrassing loss in Bloomington to welcome in USC for a big spot. By the way, welcome back, Fish, by the way. Good to have you back, brother. But the other thing about it is you got to fill stands. I saw corners in the stands not full for USC at noon.
It will for Ohio State.
Well, they'll be filled with red. You have our attention now around the country. Who has your attention, Bake?
I feel like after opening week, we all forgot about old Alabama. But Kalen DeBoer, he still can coach. That's a talented team. Again, I don't know if they'll be there in the end because of the schedule they've got coming up here the rest of the way. But that was a heck of a win, knocking off the longest home winning streak in the country and beating Georgia at their home field.
Both fell this week, right?
Both of them.
Both did.
Yep.
Both those
longest
streaks.
and the second longest.
I believe it's Oregon now,
it's the
right?
Oregon Ducks.
At 18.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Ole Miss. You had said Friday, Bo, that Lane Kiffin never wins these games. Well, you had the 4th-ranked LSU Tigers in town on Saturday, and you won that game.
With a backup quarterback who's playing lights out.
Not anymore.
Yeah, no, not anymore. That's a matzo ball figuring that one out. I'll tell you one thing. If our high school football team here in town, in our little town, if they're at home, I go to the games. I go. And if they're not, though, sometimes I'll look for something else. And the Friday night college football was pretty good. Florida State into UVA, or Florida State losing to UVA, and then Arizona State rallying to beat TCU and survive and advance in that one. Those were two fun games on a Friday night. Can this team win it all, grade, Bake?
They damn sure can.
Yeah, it's an A+.
A++. I think they're the best team in the country right now, and I think they have the highest ceiling. That's a good spot to be as we embark on October around here. The Bengals with a massive test tonight out in Denver. Get you set for that one. Coming up next, Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Is your business craving efficiency? Is it hungry for productivity? Then there's a tech solution you should implement now if you want to crush your KPIs and you also want BLTs or burrito bowls or like bagels. It's called EasyCater, one platform for ordering food from a huge variety of restaurants for all your workplace needs. From falafel for the finance team to lasagna for the luncheon mart. Plus tools to help you save time and stay on budget. Ready to nail your deliverables? Order now at EasyCater.com.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter? Right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer. Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times. Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants? These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
The claws are out.
Fox Monday, James Day's all new. First,
we have an Oscar winner in the house.
Jay Perkowski welcomes Mira Sorvino to the Celebrity Name That Tune podium.
I can name that tune in one note. Wow.
Then, 4 famous reality couples get a reality check from Jane Lynch.
Who just realized there's no smart one in their relationship?
All new Celebrity Name That Tune, followed by an all-new Celebrity Weakest Link. Tonight, starting at 8 on Fox 28.
At the end of the day, the sun sets on Central Ohio, but stories are still unfolding. Every voice, every neighborhood, every question that still needs answers. Fox 28 News at 10 is there in the quiet moments and at the turning points, digging deeper, finding solutions, lifting up the communities that shape who we are. At the end of the day, you deserve a team that's on your side. Fox 28 News at 10, always on your side.
Dormar, your climate hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the tin man.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
Now at Great Lakes Hyundai, lease 2 Elantras for $222. That's right, lease 2 new 2025 Elantra SEs for just $222 a month for a 2-year lease. Both your new Elantras come with owner assurance and America's Best Warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. In Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.99 down per unit plus taxes fees. First month payment, 10K miles per year, ends 9/30.
With business banking, Tel Ohio Credit Union takes it personally. It's why they are the #1 SBA lender among Ohio credit unions. You are a member, not a number. That's the Tel Ohio difference. Visit telhio.org/business.
Certain restrictions apply. Tel Ohio is open to all in central and southwestern Ohio. Federally insured by NCUA.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fraud in government is a crime, and it robs taxpayer dollars. I'm Ohio Auditor of State Keith Faber, and my job is to catch people that lie, cheat, and steal, report suspicious behavior, and help stop fraud. Learn the red flags, speak up, and protect your tax dollars by calling 1-866-FRAUD-OH.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state. The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at onnradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcast. podcasts from the Ohio News Network. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Now as we kick off the work week, we're still tracking sunshine and warm conditions here with highs in the mid-80s, but then gradually cooling back down to the lower 80s here on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we're back down to the 70s here by Thursday and Friday. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
The only thing better than watching football is talking about it. So we invented Reaction Monday.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan. Pull up a stool and ask the bartender for something neat, because Uncle Bo is on the radio. This is Bishop and Friends.
And the Capital Florida Columbus High School football game of the week takes us to Liberty Friday night as the defending Division I state champs host undefeated UA. Good Lord, Reese.
Go Bears. Fighting Reesers.
Yep. I mean, can Reese do sidelines for this?
Oh, that would be
I'm
good.
just volunteering him. Like, I'm sure the Guardians are playing or something. He's probably got a nice little Friday night with a lady friend, and now I have him doing sidelines for high school.
No, Friday's my day off this week. Because, you've got guards, maybe a game 3 guards Thursday.
Can't do it. Coverage starts at 6:30, kick at 7 after the game. Byers, Subaru Dublin's overtime with Bacon Lee. Friday nights for high school football right here on The Fan. We do have an NFL trade of note, and it involves one of our teams. The Cleveland Browns looks like this is a pick swap. It's a 6th, 7th round pick swap in 2027. The Texans are trading offensive tackle Cam Robinson to the Browns per Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero. Cam Robinson was a former 2nd-round pick out of Alabama. He's bounced around a little bit. Nick Shook of the NFL Network with this. Robinson's in-season move to Minnesota in 2024 was key to Sam Darnold's Vikings' sustained success after losing Christian Darrisaw. After getting torched by Detroit's edge rusher Sunday, the Browns seem to be hoping for a similar outcome here. My question would just be, why would Houston trade him? I mean, they're
not like they have issues themselves.
Yeah, their offensive line is brutal.
Maybe that's why. They're like, well, it's not good with him. Can't be much worse. Let's just...
like the give-back's nothing. Like a pick swap in 2027?
Get out from under this $12 million we signed him for this year.
Yeah. Maybe. Are they punting?
They won a game.
Yeah, they just won. I don't know.
Shut out the Titans.
But yeah, they had to do something on that offensive line because it's pretty sieve-like. And the other problem that they're going to have going forward is that the only guy under contract for them for next year is Duan. That's it. And he's done for the year. And his injury seems pretty serious.
You can't bank on him anymore.
No, he hasn't, unfortunately, of no fault of his own. But like when you go read what happened to him and the what's upcoming from him from a rehab standpoint, it's going to get really thin really quick there on that offensive line. So they add a little bit of the cavalry there.
Bo, this news breaking too, and I think most people already knew this, but it's confirmed now that Malik Neighbors will miss the rest of the season with a torn ACL.
I saw Odell Beckham Jr. tweet this, and I feel it every time that you see something like this. I just don't have any good reason why NFL stadiums that don't use grass. I mean, you can grow grass in New Jersey. It's not that hard. And you talk to anybody who's an orthopedic, you talk to anybody who's in this business, it's just better on grass. It's safer on grass. And these type of crazy injuries that happen in the Meadowlands especially, how many have been on that turf? Big injuries there.
What would it take for the Players Association to get the owners to come forward and make it all grass? Like that would have to be something in a give and take.
Why would the owners?
The CBA.
Why would owners not want it? Like, these are your investments.
Some owners are probably fine with it, but I would say that there are others out there, and I'm looking at the Brown family specifically, that are cheap and wouldn't want to pay for that, and wouldn't want to pay to replace it and pay for the upkeep of it yearly.
Well, they just spent $200+ million on a quarterback who's
You're adding logic to this. I would not when it comes to the owners.
To me, I would be like, okay,
the next day almost
just had turf toe, it really is catastrophic toe. We're going grass.
It's insane.
But wait a second, you want us to feed the players and pay for the upkeep of grass, too? What are you talking about?
That, like, the Jets didn't do it when Aaron Rodgers goes down with an Achilles. It's like the next day you're putting in turf in the Meadowlands because you got two franchises can pay for it at one stadium.
You're right. And didn't Saquon get hurt there, too, with the turf?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great at all. Bengals out in Denver tonight to take on the Broncos. I'm going to be candid with you, and I've crushed. I don't know how you did NFL. I think I've got 9 wins or something like that already. Not crushed, but I've done okay. I have no idea. I have no idea what to make.
I'm 6-8 going into tonight.
Are you? So. I think I'm 9 or 10. I'm not sure, but I don't know what to expect from Cincinnati tonight. I have no idea. It feels to me like Denver ought to hammer them, but Denver hasn't really hammered anybody. And do I think that the line's a little overreaction to what we saw last week from Cincinnati? Can Cincinnati be more competent? Do they bounce back a little bit? I don't know. I also don't know what the Bengals' objectives are this season. I'm not sure what they're trying to do. It's been crickets out of the Burrow camp in terms of what that timeline looks like for him. And not that I expected an update every week, but you hear some whispers mid-December, hear others, it's like, yeah, we'll see you next year. So, that's hanging over their whole season, too. I have no idea what to expect from them. Somehow they are 2-1. The Baltimore Ravens are 1-3 after losing to Kansas City. Get Pat Mahomes some weapons, and look what happens. Pittsburgh is atop this division in 3-1, and by the way, the injury to Lamar is a real one, too. So, is Pittsburgh just going to run away with the division we thought was going to be the most difficult in the sport? Seems like they might.
Yes.
Sure seems like it right now, especially if this Lamar injury causes him to miss any time.
And even before he got injured, Lamar just seemed so off.
Well, and Derrick Henry, too.
Fumbling every game.
Yeah, it's funny. When we did two-a-days, the two rosters that I thought were the most complete in football were Baltimore and Philly. And for whatever reason, with and some of it's close wins, but their only win's a win over the Browns. It's the only win they have right now. They've lost all the other games. Sometimes you just lose that opener, like the way they did to Buffalo, where they led the whole way and then blew it down the stretch. It has a lingering effect on you, and it feels like it does for them.
The one thing I will say for the Ravens, they've got the Texans this week, then the Rams next, and then it's a pretty manageable schedule for a few weeks as they have the Bears, they're at Miami, at Minnesota, at Cleveland, the Jets, the Bengals, then they play the Steelers. So it's pretty, and actually after that, you're at the Bengals, the Patriots, at the Packers, and at the Steelers. So 2 tough ones at the end, but the schedule is not too tough for Baltimore.
If the Ravens were to make the postseason, they'd be making some history. This from Jay Morrison, who covers the Bengals for The Athletic. The Baltimore is the 6th team since the 1970 merger to give up 37-plus points in 3 of their first 4 games. The 2020 Cowboys did it, finished 6-10. The 2012 Titans did it, also 6-10. The 08 Rams did it, finished 2-14. The 03 Cardinals did it, finished 4-12. The 75 Browns finished 3-11.
Do you know what they're going to do? I'm calling the shot right now. The Baltimore Ravens are going to go 6-10, and they're going to draft Caleb Downs.
No, the Browns are drafting Caleb Downs.
That's just what they do.
No.
That's what they do. That's how it's going to go for them. They're going to have this one season that's weird, and they're going to draft in the top 10, and Caleb Downs is going to be in black and purple. I can feel it.
Man, the Buckeyes had a nice win Saturday. The Reds and the Guards made the postseason. I had a heck of a day with college football on Saturday, and now I'm depressed on a Monday because of that.
That's what I do. That's what I do. Depressed on a Monday. Ask my wife.
My heart just sunk.
He'd look really good in Baltimore.
Stop it!
Everybody
no!
Would.
I will turn both of you off.
That's fine.
The real quick on the Ravens side of things, going into that, and I think I said this when we picked it, it just felt like Kansas City would find a way because I think they needed 2 more. This division, Baltimore is fine. They're fine. They have some things that need sorted out, but no one's running away from anybody in this division. And I referenced that schedule that Bake just did on Friday when we were doing the picks. Like, it's very navigable for them to go on like a 6-game winning streak pretty easily. We'll get some perspective around the Big Ten a month in. Our buddy Howard Griffith, Big Ten Network, former Illini great, is going to join us in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
When it's 6 a.m. and you need a skid steer and you want to talk to an actual person about skid steers, lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. With the largest rental fleet and hardest working equipment experts in Columbus, we can help steer you to the right skid steer at the right price right now. Tracks or wheels, diesel or gas, light, medium, or heavy duty. Plus attachments for loading, grading, digging, drilling, tilling, and trenching. No wonder the Columbus builders building Columbus lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. Learn more at sunbeltrentals.com.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus. It's fall or autumn, as the losers like to say. What does that mean in the car world? That means places like Jermaine Lexus want to clear out all of their 2025 inventory to make room for the 2026 models. And for you, the customer, that means big savings. Take advantage of their lack of space with aggressive pricing. They also have plenty of L-certified vehicles on the lot for the fall collection sales event. If you're in the market, please stop in and see my friends. Jermaine Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, JermaineLexus.com.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron, I invented a way to make sure people's furnaces are safe.
Do you test high temperature, flame rollout, flame limit, and flame proving?
Yeah, no one wants to set their house on fire.
Do you inspect the heat exchanger?
Yeah, no one wants a house full of carbon monoxide.
We already do all that for just $89.
Yeah, but my price is just $88.
Okay, so $88 will be the new price for a furnace safety check.
Get Eco.
I also invented a cool new name for it.
Okay.
I call it the Super Safety Check.
What makes it super?
Well, it costs $1 less, and it has super in the name.
Should I start calling you Super Jerry?
The Super Jerry Super Safety Check. I like it.
Get Eco to safety check your furnace.
Or, for $1 less, you can get the Super Jerry Super Safety Check.
Get Eco.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Keep your friends close and your producers closer. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, indeed you are. Let's get some reaction to the month that was in college football and a heck of a weekend that was. And when we do so, we sure do like doing it with our good buddy Howard Griffith, the Big Ten Network, joining us on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Howard, great to talk to you. Thank you so much for taking the time. If I give you this statement, do you co-sign it? The 2 best teams, not only in the Big Ten, but the country, are Ohio State and Oregon.
Absolutely. I'd get on board with that. And what both teams have been able to do to this point has really been remarkable. I think they're teams that have an opportunity to still get better. And that's kind of the scary part about it. When you look at both of these programs, there's still room for improvement with both of them.
Howard, your view of the Buckeyes a month in?
Still a lot. What I really like about them is what they're able to do defensively. And I've been trying to explain it this way or talk about it this way. It's not so much the scheme, but it's more about the matchups that they cause problems for. And I thought this would be an outstanding challenge for them when you look at matchups going against Washington, and they were able to really take care of business there. This Washington team is explosive and dynamic, and to me, have one of the best young quarterbacks in the conference, if not the country. And you look at Boston at the receiver spot, you look at Jonah Coleman. So to be able to corral that offense and keep them in check really spoke volumes to what that defense has the opportunity to do as the offense continues to grow and gain confidence.
Howard, I've been around here a long time, and I think it's since 2007, I mean, we've had so many great defenses, so many great players, but this one's ceiling might be as high as any. And the thing that really jumps out to me a month in, I mean, you get Arch Manning in Texas week 1, and to your point, and I don't know, I hope people give proper credit to how good and how dynamic Washington is offensively. I just thought the marriage of the way the defensive line played. I mean, your top 2 tacklers were defensive linemen. The 2 Cadens were the leading tacklers in this game, and the linebackers in the back end. It just feels like they're all rowing the boat in the same direction.
I talked about that. You do not look at a stat sheet and see defensive linemen leading your team in tackles. The way they played in the opponent's backfield was unbelievable. And we don't even get to the linebackers when you talk about Reese and his abilities. They're so, and that's what I mean when I talk about them being interchangeable. They can go put their hand in the dirt. You can bring Caleb Downs to the line of scrimmage and then run him into the deep path of the field. There's so many looks that quarterbacks are trying to process. And stay with me on this one. This is where where they're able to take advantage of offenses, right? Because so many times quarterbacks are looking to the sidelines. Quarterbacks are being told what this looks like. There's not a lot of systems right now where you have quarterbacks that are coming to the line and are able to change in and out of plays based on looks. And remember this, too. They always, for the most part, when you're trying to identify players, they're using numbers or body types. And you're not able to do that with Ohio State because their linebackers can put their hand in the dirt. Their linebackers can drop back into coverage. So you don't know necessarily what you're going to have an opportunity to see. So it makes it much more difficult for offenses to really be able to decipher pre-snap what this team is trying to do.
Yeah, it's been a marvel so far this season. I agree with your earlier point. It's the ceiling is even higher because it's a lot of young guys that are out there playing. Let's talk about the other team. Oregon goes into Penn State. Dan Lanning has not lost a Big Ten game. Now, Ohio State beat him in the Rose Bowl, but he's undefeated in Big Ten and now going into their second season in the league. What stood out most to you from the Oregon perspective of going into, and I know you know this, just a brutal place to play and coming out and getting a win?
That they embraced it. I think a lot of times people are, okay, well, we have to go in, we have to play a clean game, we can't allow the crowd to get involved. That's going to be a detriment to our team. They're embracing the whole idea of being able to take their team on the road and don't care how far they need to travel to get it done. This is a really good football team. And you think about the amount of young players that they're playing. And I know Ohio State talks about this, and I learned this from Urban, that when he had young players, he had a sheet that said, okay, I need to get this guy 10 plays. I need to get this guy 8 plays. We need to make sure that they're getting these plays. And Ryan Day is the same way of making sure that the younger players or inexperienced players are getting the reps early in the season as the season goes on, so that when, they're sitting in the locker room or they need a big play, it's 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, go out and get that play. So the more people that you're able to put into these hostile environments, the better off your team is going to be come November, December, and off into January.
Yeah, they're road tested. He ate it up. You're exactly right. On the other side of this, what do we do with Penn State here, where they look like they have everything that you would need? He desperately needs a win like this. They got the whiteout at night, which is something Franklin's wanted for a long time. They get it. They battle all the way back, Howard, but they can't close the deal. And now he has this albatross of the struggles against top 10 teams. How do you make sense of what's happened there?
I don't know that you can make sense of it. I know that, so take me, for instance, an Illinois grad. You think that 90% of college football wouldn't take what Penn State is having to deal with right now? I mean, I think you probably go higher, 90%. Here's the issue. They've got to find ways to win these football games. And what's been, I guess, if you want to point to something that's been somewhat disappointing, is we always knew that they could go out against the quote-unquote the teams that they were supposed to beat and dominate and really look good. Well, that really hasn't happened from an offensive standpoint. Defensively, they've been lights out, been able to make these plays, but they're spending so much time on the field because the offense is still not getting going. And you can probably make a case when you look at the numbers, particularly versus the opponents that they played outside of Oregon, that this is an offense that's really struggled and probably regressed from where they've been the last couple of years.
There's no doubt. I mean, when I see Nick Singleton like 12 carries, 21 yards, I'm like, that's not right. He's way too good to not get production out of that. Let's talk about your Illini. That's a heck of a bounce back, bud. I picked it on Friday. I just thought that they were better than they showed against Indiana. Obviously, the injuries were there. Noon game against USC and the Illini with a big-time clutch win.
Yeah, it was a huge win for him. And I'll start off with this. I think when you look at Ohio State, when you look at SC, that is I refer to them as a big, pretty team. I mean, there's a bunch of guys that you want to be first off the bus, athletic, long, really physical, down in the trenches, guys that looked the part. But this was a tough matchup for them, and Illinois was ready for it. And I think Illinois was somewhere in between, right? That loss to Indiana wasn't exactly who they are, but they had some injuries, and they still didn't play to their potential in that game. So this was an opportunity, quite frankly, it was a must-win for Illinois because they needed to get back. If they wanted to continue to build on the momentum that they built, really going back to last year, they need to win these kind of games. So, and they've got another tough matchup that's coming right down the street with Ohio State. So they could not afford to lose to USC and still have a chance to be
No, yeah, must win in every possible way. I'll get you out of here on this one, buddy. So my kids play the NCAA college football game, and they like this big thing of like trying to break national records. And every time they try to break it with a running back, they go, "Dad, who scored 8 touchdowns at running back?" And I'm like, "Well, I know that guy. He comes on my radio show every once in a while." It still stands, man. All these years later, it still stands. What do you remember about that day? Did you realize when you were in the middle of it that it was as special as it ends up being now all these years later?
Yeah, so the story behind the story, right? You asked, that's the perfect question you're asking. What do I remember about the day? I remember that I think we were down by 7. We were backed up. I was running backs. I was on the right side. I was running the play. I was to the left. You know, as a running back, you should have the ball in your left arm when you're running to the left, away from the defenders. But I was a predominantly right-hand carrier, and I just felt comfortable, never wanted to skip it. A linebacker by the name of Kevin Kilgallen shot the gap, wraps me up in the backfield, steals the ball. He didn't force a fumble. He took it from me, runs it in for a touchdown. So when you ask me what I remember about that day, yeah, those other touchdowns were great and all, but it was the one that I gave up. I was responsible for 9 in that game, and I'm only getting credit for 8.
Well, man, it's cool. All these years later, it still stands there, man. It's great talking to you. Thank you so much for your time, and hopefully we'll do it again soon. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Look forward to it. Enjoy the week.
All right, there he goes. Howard Griffith, a former Illini great who still holds the national college football record of touchdowns rushing for in a game at 8. It's a tough one to beat. He joined on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. We got to pick a doubleheader on Monday night. We got 3 things as well. It's all coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
The Daily Ryan Day Show is brought to you locally by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers and by Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
This is the Ryan Day Show, brought to you statewide by Safelite Auto Glass. Coach, what changed for the offense as this game went on?
Well, we find ourselves down there early in the game, moving the ball well, and didn't convert on the 4th down. And then, you know, we finished some drives off the way we're supposed to. We were resilient, and you know, made some big throws. You know, the run game overall, there was some big plays to be had there as well. We've got to continue to keep working on finding ways to be explosive.
Defensively, 5 sacks, 8 tackles for loss. How crucial was the defense in helping you guys get off the field in this ball game?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was huge, especially when, you know, we turned the ball over on the punt return early in the game, put them in a tough spot, but they kept battling. Resilient, understood situational football, which is important. I thought they did a good job with the run game, stopping the run game, and then, you know, corralling Williams, which, you know, he's a very good quarterback. He can, you know, make a lot of plays with his feet, and they understood it and executed the game plan well and played really hard.
We'll have a final comment after this.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at Safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Buckeye fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes those moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Beer.
Coach, how special was it to look back or look around you and in this environment to see a lot of the Ohio State fans that showed up for this game?
I think when you go on the road, especially for a team that's a little inexperienced, to have the more things that look familiar, the better. And to run out and see all the red out there was one of those reference points in terms of, okay, our fans are with us here. And, when we're playing, obviously, it doesn't matter. But leading up to it and getting a feeling of, hey, like the more familiarity you have going into an environment like this, the better. And they were awesome. I mean, they were loud. You could hear them. They had a presence in the stadium. And as always, Buckeye Nation traveled.
This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
For over 37 years, Buckeye Nation has known Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse for serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks are a staple in Columbus, with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. And just like the Buckeyes, we strive for excellence and an experience like no other. Hyde Park is proud to introduce the newly added wine room at our downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining surrounds you, creating the ideal setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Nobody has more all-wheel drive or electrified hybrid choices than Toyota, including the best-selling Camry. It's all hybrid all the time with available all-wheel drive. Now through September 30th, get 4.75 APR financing on any new 25 Camry or lease a Camry LE from just $279 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Is your business craving efficiency? Is it hungry for productivity? Then there's a tech solution you should implement now if you want to crush your KPIs and you also want BLTs or burrito bowls or like bagels. It's called EasyCater, one platform for ordering food from a huge variety of restaurants for all your workplace needs. From falafel for the finance team to lasagna for the luncheon mart. Plus tools to help you save time and stay on budget. Ready to nail your deliverables? Order now at EasyCater.com.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Sports conversation that's worthy of a toast, or at least a stiff drink. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, before we get to the poll and such, we've got a doubleheader tonight that we have to make sense of. Bake, go ahead.
That is right, guys. We've got 2 of them on Monday Night Football tonight to pick. At 7:15 this evening, the New York Jets head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. And I don't know if you've seen those black uniforms that they're wearing tonight.
Actually, navy blue.
Okay, well, whatever it is, it looks pretty damn sweet.
They look good, yeah.
The Dolphins in those uniforms are 2.5-point favorites.
Yeah, I just think that one of these teams really believes in their coach and the other one maybe doesn't as much. And I also noticed that like 70% of the public money is on the Dolphins. I'll fade the public. Give me the Jets to win down in South Florida.
Yeah, I actually like the underdogs in both of these, and I don't like either of these games. So give me the Jets plus the 2.5.
Usually one of the Monday Nighters is good. I mean,
right.
if we didn't have to follow the Bengals, I wouldn't really care about either one of them. Go ahead.
I think most people thought this Bengals-Broncos game was going to
at
be
the beginning
good,
of the year, like when the schedule gets released and you see Jets-Dolphins and then Bengals-Broncos, you're thinking, what a great Monday night slate.
Yeah.
Now you're like, let's just get to Tuesday.
I don't know if anybody was thinking that about Jets-Dolphins, were they? I don't know. But maybe Broncos-Bengals.
You had the New York market interest, and then people thought the Dolphins were making the playoffs, right?
Little aperitif, I think, for the late game.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you
your
do
shot,
these.
right? Bengals Broncos chaser.
I don't understand why you do these an hour apart. That doesn't make any sense to me. This is the Buck and Aikman game. It's on ABC. The Bengals travel out to Denver. They are getting 8.5 points. Big underdog tonight on the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm with Reese on this. I like the Bengals to cover. I think the line's a little bit of an overreaction of what we saw last week. I don't want to get into a whole TV thing, but I'll give you a quick answer on why they do this. ESPN, ABC, Bake is looking at the total audience.
I know.
Oh, they want it all.
So they're looking for, here are all of the people watching football on a Monday night on all of our platforms. That's what they're going for. Reese, what do you got on the poll today?
So the Daily Fan Poll actually asks about tonight's Monday Night Football doubleheader. Who do you think wins each of these games? Your options are Jets and Bengals, Jets and Broncos, Dolphins, Bengals, Dolphins, Broncos. 35% say Dolphins, Broncos. 42% say Jets and Broncos. 14% say Jets and Bengals. 7% Dolphins, Bengals.
There you go. All right, time for 3 things on a Monday. Hit it, guys.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina, Central Ohio's largest selection of new and pre-owned boats. Find your next dream boat at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
Well, number one for me, do you remember when I told the story last week of Buddy Garrity, the now 3-year-old golden retriever, turning into Dr. Richard Kimball on the loose, and I'm Sam Gerard trying to track him down, breaking through the fence, all these things. Like, what is going on? Like, how is he getting out? Turns out the responder on his collar for his invisible fence was not working. Let's just say I succeeded where Lieutenant Sam Gerard did not. Buddy Garrity's collar is back on. He's thriving in the 3 acres, but it was a bit of a tough hit the first time he realized that it worked again.
It's a good job out of you. First thing from me, just an update on what was a weird story that kind of percolated early in the Steelers-Vikings game where Skylar Thompson was, I guess, jumped and robbed, or that was the report in Dublin early hours of Saturday morning. Dublin police say they have not received a formal report on that. I know they asked TJ Watt about it after the game. He said, quote, "I don't have enough to comment on that." Police say that they encountered a male in his 20s on the early hours of Saturday that needed medical treatment, but he was assessed and released, and that's it. So no comment by anybody. And I guess the Steelers will likely say something today, but as of right now, it's nothing.
Crickets, yeah.
First thing for me, and I never thought I would say this in my life, and I'm not saying it because we just had Howard Griffith on, and our guy, Tyvis Powell, works for them as well, but I was thankful for the Big Ten Network this weekend because I was up at Walsh University with Ohio Dominican this week. I could not watch the Buckeyes game live for the most part. Like, I had it on a tablet, but you're calling the game. It's hard to maneuver around, and I thought I'd be able to Paramount Plus it afterwards, but they do not have those games on demand, I guess. Luckily, the Big Ten Network has their Big Ten in 60, and I was able to catch, like, the first 3.5 quarters of the game yesterday, and then I woke up early this morning before the show to catch the last 1.25, so I was able to see the Buckeyes in a condensed version.
Good job out of BTN on that. Number 2 for me, look, I think 12 teams in the postseason is crazy for Major League Baseball, but I'm going to get off my lawn guy at this point in my life, so whatever. I can acknowledge this. It's pretty damn cool that Seattle has never won the World Series. San Diego's never won the World Series. The Brewers have never won the World Series. The Guardians haven't won since 48. The Tigers haven't won since 84. The Reds haven't won since 90. The Blue Jays haven't won since 1993. Then you get the Phillies in 08, Yankees 09, Cubs 16, Red Sox 18, and the Dodgers in 2024. It's decent chance that you're either going to get somebody who hasn't won it in a lot of people's lifetime or hasn't won it ever. That's pretty cool, and that should make for a fun postseason for baseball.
Second thing for me, ditto on the baseball fun. Bad Bunny is your Super Bowl 60 halftime show. I don't think I can name a Bad Bunny song. I'm sure there's some that you've heard of. I know he did a song with Ric Flair. I just asked Bad Bunny, please don't bring out Ric Flair for the halftime show.
I couldn't disagree more.
10 years ago, maybe bring out Ric Flair.
Right now.
In February of 2026, please do not bring out Ric Flair.
I only know Bad Bunny because he's participated in WWE in the past. So
yeah, he's a performer, so it'll be a good show.
The Reds, they made it into the postseason. I'm so happy that they did. I don't know how they did, but they did. They are the first team in Major League Baseball history to have no qualifying batter hit 270, no batter hit 25 home runs, no pitcher win 15 games, no pitcher notch 200 strikeouts in a non-shortened season, yet still make the playoffs. Reds baseball, ladies and gentlemen, jump on the bandwagon. Let's go.
Be fun. You can listen to it all right here on The Fan. Finally, number 3 for me. Speaking of Bad Bunny, I'm to the point now where I've acknowledged that none of this stuff is for me anymore. I don't know any of his songs either. I recognize him actually from the SNL. There's a skit that went viral last year that he participated in with Sabrina Carpenter. That's what I recognize him for. I really don't know any of his music, but then I realized, dude, you're old. They're not doing this for you. You're going to watch the Super Bowl anyway.
Yeah, he's also in Happy Gilmore too. He's great. He'll put on a good show. He could also not bring out Ric Flair, but maybe bring out Red Panda. So the nation's greatest halftime entertainment act was injured. This was back in July, the WNBA Commissioner Cup game. Her agent is telling fans that she'll be back on basketball courts this season. It was a very serious injury she suffered that did require surgery, but she will be performing, and this is from her agent, soon.
Do you think she's like Mr. Beast and she's worth like $200 million? I think he might be worth like $1 billion.
Probably.
I wonder how much all that pays through the years.
There's nothing better than being at a game and not knowing Red Panda's going to perform, and out comes Red Panda.
Oh, it's so great.
Reese loves Red Panda. Loves it. Final thing for me, Rothman and Ice coming up next. They will continue the Buckeye football talk with Jim Lachey and Adam King as well. Hopefully they grill him on dropping the fish.
Oh, jeez. Amateur display out of him on that front. All right, there you go. You have that to look forward to, which is nice. We are back tomorrow, Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Catch T-Bone and Tyvis weekday mornings from 6 to 9. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll rewind